right, welcome. I see we have some folks coming in. Come join us. Awesome. Very good. Well, you've already figured out what this next 30 minutes is, 25 minutes. It's going to probably go over just a tiny bit because I couldn't help myself for this particular meeting. We've got so many great things going on in our community. And as my colleague, Councilmember Fiore, always says, our time is limited, right? So there's 3 of us that term out in
6 months.
A few months, 9 months, 8 months. So we're getting a bunch of stuff in here, and tonight is super special, and I can kind of feel the vibe in the room too. How awesome is this vibe? It feels a little bit like a celebration, and it is a celebration. We've got some amazing individuals this evening that we are going to celebrate. Organizations in our community, people in our community that come together just to say thank you for all of the amazing things that you're doing in our community. And our very first this evening, it's a little bit bittersweet, so I'm going to try not to be teary-eyed because the incoming commander is here and I don't want him to think I don't love him. But if I could invite up, I think everybody's here that needs to be here for you, Commander. So if you could come up and join us. Is Councilmember Matz? I guess she's coming along in just a moment. So it's happening. It's happening. Okay. So I guess was it a year ago? Was it almost a year ago? 9 months ago, we came together because we thought our amazing commander was going to be retiring, and then lo, she did not. She said, I'm going to stick around for just a little bit, and I was so happy. I was sad, then I was happy. I'm not that sad because I know that you're super happy, so I'm trying to feel your celebration as well. If you don't know, how many of you know this amazing lady? You know her by name, you've seen her around. Yeah, give her a round of applause, because she's super awesome. So this is our police commander from the sheriff's office now, Mari Guerra. She's served with the village, I think, for 11 years. Okay, but she's been with previously Miami-Dade Police Department, now the Sheriff's Office, for 39 years. 37. Well, it feels longer because you were in Palmetto Bay for 11 years, so we know that adds years to your life. Well, I don't know, it probably takes away a couple of years. But anyway, for 37 years, and really served in the best of ways. She's probably one of the most humble individuals I have ever met. Really, you are. She's kind, inclusive. She has a career that has been filled with commendations and awards. You served, I think, if I'm recalling correctly, as the first female canine officer. Commander, I'm so sorry. First female
commander.
Okay, you got all that. Narcotics, female commander. She doesn't often, she's here and she doesn't ever feel scary, but let me tell you, don't get on the wrong side. I'm just kidding. She comes from a family of service. She's raised children that served alongside you, now in the sheriff's office. Your husband's joined us this evening, also retired captain, if I'm no. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm no longer having Nick Morano give me any information on anything. Take one for the team, Nick. Thanks. Well, I didn't print out Mari's bio because for me this is really super personal. She's just been really amazing in many ways, and probably you may not agree. I feel like we've grown as female leaders here. Sometimes there are challenges in being a female leader. People see our kindness, and maybe they experience that as a bit of a weakness. Sometimes they see our leadership, and they may experience that in a different way than exactly what it is. But you have really helped me grow as a leader. You have. I consider you extended family. I've said it over and over and over. We really just love you from the very bottom of our heart here in the village of Palmetto Bay. Good news is I can't give you her address, but she's going not too far away, so I know we're going to be able to have lunch or dinner periodically just to catch up on all the things that you're going to be doing in this next chapter, which I know is going to be very eventful because you've got a lot of grandchildren, so they're going to be able to spend time with you. So I know previously we gave you a proclamation, we gave you, I don't know, a plaque, we gave you all kinds of great things as you were on your way out the door, and I was like, should I just repeat that, or should we give you something a little bit different? So if I could, and we don't give these out all the while, if I could invite our manager, Nick Morano, to join us. Today we would like... Okay, I'm putting that a mental note to self for you at some point. Okay, I got it. So the coolest thing ever, you have the key to our hearts. Tonight, we would like to give you a key to the city, and I'm going to ask the manager if he would read the plaque that's on the key.
With pleasure, Mayor. Presented to Major Madi Guerra, Palmetto Bay Municipal District, Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office. With deepest gratitude for your steadfast leadership, distinguished service, and unwavering dedication to the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, Palmetto Bay Municipal District. Your leadership, integrity, and commitment to public safety have made a lasting impact on our community. On behalf of the Village of Palmetto Bay, we extend our sincere appreciation and best wishes upon retirement on April 12th, 2026, and honor your legacy of service.
Thank you.
A standing ovation, girl! Yeah. Yeah, so we're not done yet with Madi. I do want to recognize our PBA Vice President, the Police Benevolent Association, David Greenwell, also an amazing resident of the Village of Palmetto Bay. Thanks for joining. I know you're a longtime friend of Madi's, and I'm so happy you're here. If I could invite up Chief Nunez. He's got some words to share from the Sheriff's Office.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Sheriff Rosie Cordero Stutz, I want to capture what Major Guerra here, her career that started in 1989. If you allow me just a quick minute to capture her whole career, it's an amazing career she had, and I have to read this. So bear with me, everyone. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office is pleased to announce that you have been awarded the agency's Exceptional Service Award in recognition of your 36 years of service to the agency and our community. You began your law enforcement career with the former Metro-Dade Police Department in November of 1989. I'll say that again, 1989. Wow. Yes, impressive. But she looks young, so So that's right. Over the course of your tenure, you served with distinction in numerous assignments, including the Northside, Hammocks, and Midwest districts, the Narcotics and Robbery Bureaus, the Fleet Management Section, and most recently, and the best, the Palmetto Bay Municipal District. That's right. Your career is marked by steady advancement and exemplary leadership. You served as a uniformed patrol officer and later as a crime suppression team detective in the Northside District until your promotion to sergeant in March of 1998. As a first-line supervisor in the Hammocks District, you played a vital role in the Neighborhood Resource Unit. In May 2003, you were promoted to lieutenant, where you commanded the Midwest District's Neighborhood Resource Unit and led the sections within both the Narcotics and robbery bureaus. Your final assignment as a lieutenant was serving as an operations commander for the Palmetto Bay Municipal District. In October 2018, you achieved the rank of major, assuming command of the Palmetto Bay Municipal District. Throughout your distinguished career, you consistently embrace and advance the principles of community policing, integrating crime prevention, enforcement, and quality of life initiatives into the daily operation of those under your command. Your unwavering commitment to service has been recognized through more than 95 letters of commendation from citizens, departmental directors, command staff, governmental officials, community leaders, and partner law enforcement agencies. Under your leadership, multiple units earned commendations for their exceptional performance, a testament to your guidance and dedication. Your professionalism and work ethic have set a standard of excellence for others to follow. Your impact extends far beyond your assignments. You have positively influenced countless members of the agency through your mentorship, leadership, and commitment to developing others. As you can see here today, everybody's here because of that. Your integrity, expertise, and steadfast performance as a major have been instrumental to the success of the Palmetto Bay Municipal District and the agency as a whole. You will be deeply missed by your colleagues and remembered for your positive attitude, professionalism, and unwavering dedication. I'm trying to get to page 2 here. Last paragraph, I just want you to finish off with this. Your commitment to the profession reflects both your personal integrity and your passion for public service. As you conclude your distinguished career with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, we extend our sincere gratitude for your many years of exemplary service to law enforcement and the residents of Miami-Dade County and this agency. Sincerely, Sheriff Rosie Cordero Stutz. Thank you, Marty. Thank you.
That makes 96 letters. Well, we can't thank you enough for your years of service here in the village and your years of service. I know I've said multiple times, I go to sleep every night and sleep very well. If I'm awake at night, it's not because I'm worrying about public safety. You and your team do an amazing job, and I know we'll continue that great legacy of low crime rate here in the village of Palmetto Bay and a real community policing department. So I'm looking back at our incoming commander. We're happy to have you here as well, Tony. To my colleagues, would you like to make some comments?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. As a man of few words, Major Guerra, we started together. I was elected in the fall of 2018 when you were promoted, and I can only say the 8 years have been lots of problem solving and lots of issues got done, and I didn't have to really go out of my way. It got done, so for that, we thank you very much. Thank you.
So on that note as well, thank you so much for your long tenure of service to the village of Palmetto Bay. Palmetto Bay is safer because of you and your officers here, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. I honestly have not been able to spend that much time up on the dais with you as our police commander, but I know every single meeting where you've presented before us has been with the utmost professionalism, and I am incredibly grateful for that, so thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your service, and to all the officers. I do feel safer in this community because of your work. Thank you very much, and thank you.
Thank you. Major Guerra, I want you to know that it has been an honor to serve with you. We have a friend in common in Bobby Brown, who worked with you when you were doing undercover work. And he told me a bunch of stories, none of which I'm going to share.
Okay.
But every story that he told me about you just made me more in awe of not only the professional that you are, but the person that you remain. And so thank you for dedicating so much of your life to keeping the people here in Palmetto Bay safe. We're a terrific community because you've helped make us be a terrific community. So thank you very much.
So I want to do it. So we're going to do, can we get, Chief, could you come up? Could I get all of the commander's team as well? We'll take one with the council, and then we'll step out and let the police officers. And thoughts. Sorry, Blank. And family members. Raul, can you come on up and also bring your family to join?
He didn't hear her.
Oh, Raul, hey, can you come up too? David, come on up. Come join us, please. David, please. Vice President Greenwell, please, you'll get the photos. Another big round of applause for Commander Guerra. Oh, I'm sorry. One moment, she's got a couple of words. I'm so sorry, I should have thought of that.
I didn't know that we were going to have another farewell. It was a surprise, so I quickly put something together. And this will be the last time that I address the residents of and the consul and all the employees of the village as your commander. And I would like to start. Okay. I'd like to start by thanking the previous consul for her appointment, for appointing me for village police commander. I thank them for their vote of confidence and their trust that they placed in me. I would like to thank the current consul for their support. It has been a great honor to serve this community working alongside of you guys. To Karen Cunningham, thank you for all your encouragement throughout the years. I have learned many things from you, and one thing that helped me the most was the way you always shown grace under fire. Thank you for everything, and most of all, your friendship. To Nick, words cannot express how grateful I am for always backing my decisions and for your support. It made my job much easier knowing someone understood the trials and difficulties of this profession. Thank you for your leadership and friendship. To all the staff and directors of the village, you are all embody the concept of teamwork. The success of the policing unit is linked to your success. Together, we address the quality of life issues that affected some of our residents and then translated into helping us keep the crime rates low. I will always cherish the friendships that we've made. To my civilian staff, supervisors, and deputies, through long shifts, challenging moments, memorable and crazy calls, we always relied on each other. We have laughed and cried together, and we became a family, not bonded by a bloodline, but bonded by a thin blue line. This bond will stay with me for the rest of my life. To my family, I was so blessed to have you all in my life. Thank you for your love and for always keeping me grounded. To my children, you are and always will be my driving force, and I am so proud of all of you. To my husband, thank you for your unwavering devotion to our marriage and to your support. Thank you for your patience with the long shifts, the middle of the night call-outs, and the Alpha Bravos. You have waited so long for my retirement. I am super excited for our next adventures. And finally, but not least, to the residents of Palmetto Bay, it has been an honor to serve as your police commander for these last 8 years. I leave with the success of having a 44% lower crime rate than we had last year at this time. Sorry, Tony, you're in trouble. Sorry, Tony, but you're in trouble. This was not only my success, it was only not my doing. It is due to the efforts of my deputies and their commitment to excellence. I leave you in the best of hands possible. Your new commander is my very dear friend and partner, Tony Rodriguez. May God bless you and keep you always safe.
Let's have the council, can we get the council to step out and you want to take a picture with your officers? And family, yes, yes. guys going to be in the photo? Some of them are on the other side, that's what I was wondering.
She was at a little chair for them.
Okay, I'm gonna have her stay there, right there, or do you want her to sit down for them to come up front?
She can stay right there.
Okay. It's gonna be a long meeting. It's gonna be a long. So, Commander, if I could get you to stay there for 1 second. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Commander, if I could just get you to stay there for 1 moment. We have some award-winning cheerleaders that we are going to have come in. They're going to do a cheer for you. Ladies, come on in. Well, why don't you sit? Why don't you sit?
Sad to see you go. Sad to see you go. Sad to see you go. Sad to see you go.
Woo! Is that it? Okay. All right. Let's give them a big round of applause. Don't go anywhere, ladies. Stay right here. I'm gonna squeeze. And where is your coach? Come on up. Can you- Just this. Hey, hello. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
So, I think it was last month? Was it 2 months ago? Yes. We invited you out, I think, last month, but where were you? At another competition. So this is definitely, to the parents, this is definitely a labor of love, an amazing group of young women. I got to see you at the 60th anniversary celebration at Southwood. They are amazing, each and every one of you. You make everybody feel welcome and happy, but more importantly, your dedication and skill to learning and succeeding in cheer, I think, is extremely admirable. You've got a couple of really amazing teachers, and I didn't want the year to go by without recognizing each and every one of you. So I'm going to give a certificate of recognition to each and every one of you, and I'm going to call you out by name. But let me read just a little bit here, because I was not in cheer, so I want to make sure that I get it right. So the mayor and village council, the Village of Palmetto Bay, proudly recognizes Southwood Middle School cheerleaders for their extraordinary accomplishments in competitive cheer, demonstrating exceptional skill, teamwork, and dedication. Your impressive achievements include first place traditional cheer and FDCA Grand Champion of Cheer at the Florida Dance and Cheer Association, and middle school traditional cheer national champions. And yeah, it's a big deal. And I love this part. And best pyramids. I'm not going to ask you to do a pyramid tonight, but best pyramids, and that's with the U.S. Cheer Association. These accolades are a testament to your hard work, perseverance, and to the spirit of each cheerleader. As I mentioned, your smiles make people feel super included, especially when I've been walking up to the school, so thank you for that. As well as the guidance and leadership of your amazing coaches. Countless hours of practice, discipline, teamwork, and to the parents driving around in cars, right? Driving long distances to get there. Yeah, it's a big deal. This is a labor of love. For the parents, thank you. You know, we say often here to our young athletes, young ladies and young men, when you're involved in something organized sports like cheerleading or basketball or baseball, softball, soccer, name the sport, you're busy doing something. You're making friends, learning a skill, and they're off the streets doing good things. So thank you for all of your support of them. The Village of Palmetto Bay applauds your efforts and your commitment to excellence, your sportsmanship, and your representation of our community with pride and distinction. And if I'm understanding correct, are you guys headed somewhere? Do you have another competition coming up? Okay, that's your robotics team. Okay, because this is a school of champions, superstars for sure, and dance team. Yeah, they've got 2 teams going to World, and I have to say, it's a testament to public education. I say that every chance I get. We have amazing public and private schools in our community, but it's the public schools that draw people here because they want to know that if they're going to send their children to public school, it's going to be to A schools. And the Village of Palmetto Bay is very proud to have all A schools in our village. So congratulations to both the amazing coaches. By name, and then I'm going to leave each one of you with a certificate, and we're going to give each one of you a challenge coin as well. So I'm just going to call you, and I'm going to make such a mess of the names, so I'm just going to call you by first name. Anissa, Alexa, Anjali, Cadence, Sophia, Melissa, Madison, Paige, Aubrey, Sydney, Apollonia, thank you. Camila, Valentina, Isabella, Sophia, Callie, Kaylee, Michaela, did I get that right? Michaela, I'm so sorry, Michaela. Emily, Mila, Summer, Julian, and Evelina. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Girls, these are challenge coins. We've got a lot of law enforcement in the house. Sometimes I say that and there's nobody, but we have a lot of law enforcement in the house tonight. Do we have any military veterans? I know we have our village manager, Nick Morano, retired Marine Colonel. Thank you for your service to our community. We give out challenge coins here, and it's just to say thank you for being a greater part of the community. Thank you for all of your hard work and making these girls shine. We love it. Thank you. I'll give it to you in a handshake. And ladies, each one of you will get one as well. I'm going to let your teachers give them to you, though, if that's okay, okay? Thank you. Big round of applause for our Southwood Middle School cheerleaders. We will make sure, these pictures will be on social media. We'll make sure that you get the photos. We'll send copies. All right, a big round of applause for our Southwood Middle School. So could you do me a favor? Could you just count these? I think it was 25 girls, and we've got more over there. And girls, if I could get you to either go kind of move to the back for us so we can call up the, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
16, 18 here.
How many do you need?
We have 20, is it 24? 24?
Okay, so you need 6
23.
more.
There you go. Awesome.
And there's 6.
Can you, Emily, or Bella?
You can distribute out there. All right, another big round of applause for Southwood Middle School. And if I could, oh, I'm sorry, could I get everyone to stay just for a few more minutes, if you don't mind? So, and if I could get the commander to, sorry, you've got to work right to the bitter end. If you could get the folks in the lobby just to, I know we're running a little bit into overtime, but these things are important enough for overtime. So, this month, we're also celebrating Everglades Day. It's tomorrow, is that correct? Could I invite up Eric Eichenberg and Jennifer Diaz? Come on up and join me. Thank you. And for the folks that are in the lobby, we're so happy you're still celebrating. That's awesome. If you could just stay quiet for a few moments.
Good luck.
Yeah. Could you do me a favor and get everyone? Thanks. All right. So tomorrow is Everglades Day, and we're so fortunate in the Village of Palmetto Bay to have an organization that just focuses we can't close those doors. I'm sorry. Yeah, one has to stay open. To have an organization that just focuses on the Everglades restoration, making sure that not only our water quality, but all the resources, jobs, and all the resources that are affiliated with Everglades, which is literally just down the road from us, stay intact. I wanted to share, because I thought it would be appropriate, and Eric Eichenberg is the CEO of the Everglades Foundation, a resident of Palmetto Bay. Jennifer oversees its education piece, also a resident in Palmetto Bay. That's because Palmetto Bay's got talent, but I don't know if you got this letter. I just opened it up when I sat down. I'm sure you received one as well, because it says, "Dear members of the Palmetto Bay Village Council, I want to extend my sincere appreciation for your recent resolution in support of preserving the urban development boundary." You've heard a lot about that, especially during legislative session. Eric joined me and a number of other elected officials and organizations that care deeply about the Everglades, understand the importance of the Everglades. We stood out at the Everglades State Park sign, and we had a press event, and it was just a couple days later we learned that the bill, I'll call it a bad bill for lack of other words, that was to pass, moving the UDB, allowing for more construction that would negatively impact the Everglades State Park. They held the line on that, which is very important. That's the work these folks do every single day at the Everglades Foundation. So today, I'd like to, one, present you with a proclamation celebrating Everglades Action Day, and commend Everglades Foundation for your unwavering commitment to the protection and restoration of the Everglades. And I know you have a package for each one of us. I had the opportunity, it's got to be at least a month ago, to go to Chamber South, and you and some of your colleagues were presenting. Can you talk a little bit about the work you're doing?
Mayor, thank you. And I want to, on behalf of the foundation, thank you and the council for your unanimous support in urging the defeat of that legislation that would have removed the urban development boundary. It's important not only for our water supply, but South Dade agriculture, and to have smart growth here in this county. So the legislature heard y'all, and we're grateful for that as we move along. This is a story about water, Everglades restoration from Biscayne Bay out to the Everglades. We're all united in the sense that when we turn our tap on at home, when we're in our swimming pool, when we're washing our cars, that's fresh water from the Everglades. And as we flow water south from Lake Okeechobee through the Everglades, it recharges the Biscayne Aquifer, which is, again, the drinking water for the village of Palmetto Bay and almost 7.5 million people that reside here in South Florida. We announced last year that this is now an economic asset. Our economists, our in-house scientists did economic work to show that the Everglades is a $1 trillion asset to the state of Florida, with real estate being the #1 sector that benefits from a healthy and restored Everglades. So as we invest in real estate, as we go out and fish and boat and hunt, this is a tourism-based economy here in the state of Florida, and certainly the village of Palmetto Bay understands the importance of protecting this water supply. Next time you drive on Old Cutler Road, just south of 152nd, north of 168, that is a Everglades restoration project that's flowing water under Old Cutler Road and spreading fresh water across the mangroves to ensure that the coast is preserved as we deal with tropical weather during hurricane season. That project extends all the way down the Black Point Marina along the coast. So we are protecting not only Biscayne National Park, but again, projects that are protecting Everglades National Park. And there's a lot of young people in this room tonight, We just saw a bunch of cheerleaders from Southwood Middle. We are also educating the next generation to be conservationists, to be environmentalists, to protect America's Everglades. I work every day with a champion to make sure that our children are educated. And Mayor, if you don't mind, I'm going to let Jennifer explain this important Everglades literacy program.
Great, thanks, boss. Good afternoon, thank you. Yeah, that's it. Jennifer Diaz, I'm the VP of Education for the Everglades Foundation, formerly a Miami-Dade County Public Schools teacher for many years. And my job is to make sure that every Floridian, but more importantly, the youth of our entire state, from pre-K to high school, from Monroe to Pensacola, that every school, whether you're public, private, parochial, or charter, has free resources and support from the Everglades Foundation to implement lessons, curriculum, and field trips in your classrooms. And so we do that. So we're 1,500 teachers a year. Today we've trained 10,000. And so if you're not connected to our program, please reach out to us. I have cards. And if you just want to go online and check out what's available to search around and watch videos and pull lessons from, it's evergladesliteracy.org. But that's our job, to make sure that our youth understand and that they are armed with the tools they need to protect it into perpetuity.
So a big round of applause for the Everglades Foundation. And tomorrow, all across, well, definitely in Palmetto Bay, but all across the nation, we'll be celebrating Everglades Day. And if I could present both of you with a challenge coin, thank you for everything you're doing in the community. We appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Eric. Appreciate you. Thanks. Big round of applause for them. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for your support. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate you. Thank you. I don't think he heard you. All right. It is also World Autism Month, and just a couple days ago, April 1st, we had the opportunity to join with some amazing not-for-profits that are working in our community with our neurodivergent youth. Tonight, I'd like to invite up the Rising Start, Alejandra Mejia, which is right here in the village of Palmetto Bay. Come on up and join me. And the Rising Start Foundation, I've had the opportunity to visit with them multiple times, is really doing some amazing things here in the community. Vice Mayor Merwitzer assisted by adding for our farmers market a piece where we'll have youth entrepreneurs, and on our ribbon cutting, May 3rd, the youth entrepreneurs will be children, young adults that work with and at your clients at the Rising Start Foundation. They'll be bringing in some of their wares to share and sell with the community. And we've got something really special going on here. Can you tell us a little bit about the campaign you're working on?
And also what's special is that it was born here in Palmetto Bay. So it was a very productive lunch. Hello everybody, my name is Maria Alejandra Mejia. I am the clinical director and the founder of the Rising Start Foundation. What I'm here today is to talk about the Building Everyday Acceptance campaign. This campaign, like I said, it was born here in Palmetto Bay, and what it entails is that we want to empower and educate our community in different ways and simple ways in which each and every single one of us can help an autistic person and a family with an autistic child feel welcome and part of our community. So sometimes we encounter someone with autism at the supermarket, at the restaurant, and we just, someone maybe is throwing a tantrum, moving, we just don't know what to do. And when you find these amazing posters that you will see through every single park here in Palmetto Bay, public spaces, but now you can find it also Pinecrest, Homestead, hopefully soon the metro, the transit system. You find this poster, you can scan the QR code and learn more ways in which you could be inclusive with the autistic community. Very, very simple. What to do at a restaurant if someone sitting next to you, it's someone with autism. At the restaurant, at the movie theater, at the, Publix, everywhere you go. So we're trying to make this very simple educational tips for our community, because I'm sure we all want to help. We just don't know how to. So please scan the QR code. If you see it, tag us. If you're at Coral Reef, I'm sure you'll see it. Palmetto Bay Park, tag us. Let us know that you're learning about it. I feel that if we're educated, we're powerful. And our actions have, can really, really mean something for our community.
So, yeah, and what I think is really cool, if you have your phones out and you want to just take a quick scan of the QR code right there, it'll take you to videos that are on a web page, and I would encourage for the parents in the room, share them with your children together. I think sometimes, it can be scary, right? If you don't know how to react, if a student doesn't know how to react, but they are exposed every single day to people on the spectrum, to the neurodivergent community. Knowing how to react and be inclusive and accepting is the goal of this particular campaign. So we thank you for everything that you're doing, and we look forward to seeing you on March 3rd.
March 3rd, please, everybody will be having our amazing candles or students at the
May, I'm so sorry. March is over. I'm trying to turn back time. I love these folks so much, I don't want to leave, so I'm turning back time. May 3rd, I'm so sorry, May 3rd, our new farmers market.
And if you want to buy amazing candles, beautiful scented candles, we're right here off of 150 behind the Hyundai dealer. Our students produce them, they make them, and they will be at the opening at the farmers market selling them. So you might find someone who can't talk, but will communicate through a tablet selling you. So fun ways to, be sold.
And I'm going to give you a challenge coin. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you. Take a quick photo. All right, we are not done yet. If I could ask two amazing young men, Leo Snyder and Gavin Linton, to join me. Hey, sir, how are you? Good. Good to see you again.
It's a pleasure.
Are you Gavin? Hey, Karen, good to see you. Good to see you. So, and if our manager is somewhere nearby, if I could get him to come out and join us, John, if you don't mind grabbing him for one moment. So, listen, we're living in very challenging times, and I am super proud of the two of you, as I know your families are, for taking the next step in serving our country. I think that is such a beautiful thing that you're embarking on. Both of you, both of these young men, were candidates with our Congresswoman, Maria Elvira Salazar. Is that correct, Gavin? We weren't 100% sure because I hadn't had the opportunity to meet you. I've known the Snyders for a long time, but I didn't want to leave you. I said, come on, you got to come and join us over here tonight. So there was a group of individuals, and I'm going to let the manager explain because he served on the selection committee, that came before a selection committee, a very high-level selection committee, and it was very competitive, and these two individuals were selected by this selection committee to be appointees by our Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar, and Gavin will be going into the U.S. Navy Academy, midshipman. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I heard that back there. And Leo Snyder will be going into the U.S. Air Force Academy as a cadet. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to, there's no one better to explain it than someone who has served. I have not served in the military. I'm going to turn it over to Colonel Morano.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. For the residents and the attendees here tonight, I don't think many of you, I certainly didn't know how actually impressive each one of these individuals are, the young men and women who actually get an appointment from a member of Congress. I was privileged, as the mayor said, to serve on a committee for Representative Maria Elvira Salazar to make recommendations to her for her appointment. We interviewed almost 30 young men and women for all of the service academies. and I'm not kidding, I don't mean it in self-deprecating humor, in a self-deprecating humor way, but I served 30 years, retired as a colonel. I wouldn't have been qualified to even get in the door of this selection committee. And I mean that. You had young men and women who had maxed out every AP course and exam, had gotten truly impressive scores on either the SAT or the ACT, had the GPA, and more importantly, the extracurricular activities and the athletics to go along with it. So when you see or when you meet anyone who went to one of the military academies in the United States, you can be assured, you can rest assured that they truly have earned that privilege, and it was an honor to meet you two. Both of you are going to do well, and I wish you luck.
Thank you. So I'm going to read in part. This is for both of you. This remarkable accomplishment reflects exceptional academic excellence, leadership, discipline, and a deep commitment to service to our nation. Admission to the United States Naval Academy or the United States Air Force Academy is highly competitive and is reserved for individuals who demonstrate superior character and discipline. The Village of Palmetto Bay commends Midshipman Gavin Linton and Cadet Leo Snyder for your significant milestone and extends our sincere congratulations as both of you embark on a path of honorable service and leadership to our country. Thank you both very, very much. We are deeply honored. So Gavin, I'm going to present you with this. And that's not right, is it? What's your first name? Oh, is it Leo as well? I don't know why I didn't think it was. And Leo, and if I could get, sir, could you give these to the young men? Thank you. All right, a big round of applause for Gavin and Leo. I just have to, could I get the parents, support team, parents and grandparents, I guess, could we stand up and give them a big round of applause? I know you want to give them a round of applause, right? Awesome, thank you. Come on up and join us in the picture. Is that okay? Can you join us in the photo? We would love that. You guys are welcome. No, are you sure? Okay. Big round of applause. Thank you. Thanks a lot, man. Good luck. Good luck. Good to see you. All right, and last but not least, Pat, this is going to be you. Could I get members of our Muslim community to come on up and join us? Mohammed, I don't know your friends' names, but come join us. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, we said hello when we first came in. So I'm going to turn it over to Patrick, but I know, Mohammed, you had reached out to Councilmember Fiore, would be a couple weeks ago now, to see if we could do some kind of celebration to recognize the Muslim celebration of Eid. The celebration is, the holy days are celebrated for a full month, with Eid being the big celebration. And I believe that was held on, it was March 19th? Yes, it's Friday, March 19th. So since Patrick brought it to my attention, I'm going to turn it over to Patrick and let him give this presentation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I want to say when I first started campaigning back in 2010 and knocking on doors, I was surprised the number of households of Muslim in our Muslim community here in Palmetto Bay and the greater area in Cutler Bay also. And I had the pleasure of working with my friend Imran here many years ago. We come a long way. But many in our community, many Palestinian, Iranian, from Turkey, Morocco, Egyptian, Syrian. I was very, very surprised at the number. And I just want to recognize, and after speaking with Mohammed, I asked the mayor, so I want to read this on behalf of the Muslim community here in Palmetto Bay, and I'll kind of skip a little bit of it here. Whereas Ramadan serves as a time to strengthen faith, foster self-discipline, promote generosity, and encourage unity among families, neighbors, and communities. And whereas the values of compassion, gratitude, service, and peace exemplified during Ramadan enrich the cultural and spiritual fabric of our diverse community. And whereas the village of Palmetto Bay is proud to recognize and celebrate the contributions of its Muslim residents whose traditions and values help strengthen the unity and diversity of our community. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the mayor, together with the village council of the village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, do hereby recognize and honor the observance of Ramadan and extend their best wishes to all those observing this holy month for a peaceful and meaningful experience, and that all residents are encouraged to join in recognizing the importance of this sacred time and to embrace the values of compassion, understanding, and unity that it represents.
Very nice. Thank you so much. This is Tariq. He's with the school board. And everyone else, children and family. Thank you. Of course. Nice meeting you. Jim, I work with Jim. I staff with Jim. He speaks out here. Yeah, he's the dog's office.
Thank you for coming out this evening. Yeah. So that concludes our recognitions. If you were so kind to sit so patiently and wait, if you don't want to stay for the meeting, if you want to stay, please do. We're going to switch out the videos and queue up our regular council meeting. Thank you to everyone that joined us this evening.
Once you're a Marine, congratulations again. I'm going to get the meeting started. Good luck to you. I spent about a month in Annapolis. The closest I got was taking a tour. It doesn't matter where you are.
I think I'm just...
Going until about 9.
Wasn't sure. I could see it, but I wasn't sure. Thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call to order our regular council meeting, April 6, 2026. We are beginning at 7:31 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Karen Cunningham.
Present.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
Present.
Councilmember Patrick Fiore.
Present.
Councilmember Marsha Matson.
Here.
Quorum is met.
Very good. Councilmember Cody, I think, stepped away to use the restroom. All right, if I could ask Councilmember Fiore to lead us in invocation.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I thought in lieu of invocation tonight, we'd take a moment of silent reflection for all the lives lost in the Middle East, for our own servicemen and women over there. So at this time, if we could just bow our heads in silent reflection. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. If everybody could please stand, and if I could get Attorney Quick to lead us in the pledge. Flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Attorney, we have several resolutions. Is this the appropriate time, or should I wait until after we go through the reports to add agenda items?
I would do it at the beginning, so yeah, now you're talking about the two there were three requested add-ons, two from council members and one from staff?
Correct.
May I move?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to move a resolution to authorize the retention of consulting attorney John Delaglori to serve as legal counsel exclusively to the Charter Revision Commission for the limited purpose of assisting with preparation of proposed charter revisions or amendments.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion, there's a second. Questions?
Just to clarify, this is just so that we can debate it later on.
We're just putting it on the agenda.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Are there any questions that you have? Any discussion about adding the item? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. All right. Next item,
I'm so sorry. What was the vote on that?
what was the?
It was 3-2 against.
3-2.
3-2.
Yes. What was the, is someone going to move, Councilmember Cody, you have one here.
I'll move that.
Is there a second? I'm going to second it for the purposes of discussion. Well,
Are we going to do that after?
excuse me, may I make a comment here? Yep, okay.
Yes.
So I read the item, and I understand what apparently, I listened to the meeting as well, what apparently occurred during the meeting. And my understanding, based on what I listened to, I was not present at the meeting, but also what you've outlined here, is that there was a sunshine violation by the chair of the Charter Review Commission, and then it was documented during the meeting. The way I read this, it appeared to be documented during the meeting.
And just for everyone, I did extract from the video of that meeting the pertinent parts so that you don't have to rely just upon my transcription. We can actually watch, it's about 1.5 minutes long, to view that to see what in fact happened.
I have a question for the village attorney, just as it relates to, you were present. No, you weren't. You had members of your team were present. So the way I looked at it, and I will say I don't necessarily support removing the chair. I was hoping that he would be here this evening, so that because I think just saying, hey, I made a mistake, I called up members of the commission and had conversation with them, as two indicated. They received phone calls, it seems like to me, Attorney Brian Tannenbaum and then former Mayor Stanzik. At least those are the ones that are outlined here. So I was kind of hoping that maybe he would come and at least give us some kind of explanation. I don't necessarily find it I guess it's within our purview to remove him, but I certainly was hoping to have some kind of dialogue about what actually occurred, because there's, in my opinion, been a little bit of chaos in some of the things that have been going on with the Charter Review Commission. I was kind of surprised about this, but yeah, I don't necessarily support removing him, but I do support him.
Madam Mayor, may I suggest that we play the video extract from the meeting so
I
that
think
people
that
can
would
see?
be more appropriate for when we're actually hearing the item, and I don't know if we're going to hear the item. Mr. Attorney?
Yeah, my recommendation is if it gets added onto the agenda that you hear it then, but if you all feel you need to know in advance, you.
Our discussion is really about whether, we're putting the item on or not putting the item on the.
I don't think that there is a small violation of the Sunshine Law. It doesn't say that if you catch a fish that's under a certain weight, it doesn't count. Our state law does not say that you can have conversations outside of a regularly scheduled meeting about something that will or may or is likely to come before the entity. But if the person didn't mean it or if they're sorry, that means it never happened. No, it happened. And our Sunshine Law is there for the purpose of making sure that what we do takes place in front of everybody at a regularly scheduled meeting.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry.
So this is a resolution for those in the audience to remove a volunteer chair based on an allegation that that person referenced in it has already publicly disputed. A commission member has submitted a comment on the record saying their words were taken out of context and misrepresented. Before this council votes to remove someone from a volunteer position, I think that we owe it to that person and the commission to ensure the basis of that item is accurate. I don't think we should be rushing to add something to a packed agenda like this. And if Councilman Cody believes there's a legitimate Sunshine Law violation, there's a legal process for that, and it does not require an emergency add-on tonight. Thank you.
Councilwoman?
Yes, I think this is extremely disrespectful to a volunteer resident who, in my opinion, did not make any ethical violation. However, I find it very difficult to imagine that this council acts as an ethics commission, which is really the appropriate place for this, for us not to just judge what he did, which in my opinion, he didn't do anything wrong whatsoever. I watched the video many times and I was present at the meeting. For us to judge and then take him off as chair and take him out of his position as a park committee member as well, based on an allegation which is completely unproven and has not gone to the Ethics Commission, which is the legal body, I think it would be an outrage for us to do this and extremely disrespectful to our residents.
Well, Madam Mayor, if you play the video, you will see that when Mayor Stanzik said that she was contacted, you will see Mr. Levy nodding his head and then admitting that he did it. And then because I can't put down a shake of the head or a nod of the head in the transcript, but if you actually watch the video, and there's a close-up that I did so you can see him, he admits that he did it. There isn't a place in our government for someone who is going to commit and admits to committing a violation of the Sunshine Law.
Thank you. Councilmember Fiore?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I spoke with our city attorney earlier today. I didn't support the very first resolution because you all got the email after speaking with the manager and our city attorney and our former city attorney who offered now to take over the remaining time of the Charter Review Commission, right, Mr. Quick? So I didn't, yes, thank you. I didn't see the need for having a resolution. That vote was already taken, that it goes on the ballot. That was several months ago. And I think the same thing with this. I would say, after speaking with the attorney today, and I know I've been up here for 12 years, and I kind of agree with what the mayor said, this is not the appropriate venue, and it's not an ethics violation, it's an actual violation of the law. So I would say to my colleague here, or to any resident or anybody else, if there is this evidence that exists, that there's actually a violation of the law, then it needs to go to the appropriate authority or venue that actually investigates this. And this board, nor our city attorney, are not the appropriate judges of that. So I'm not going to put this on the agenda, same way as I didn't put Dr. Mattson's on the agenda. I think we need to let the Charter Review Commission, they have one or two meetings left, let them finish their job. But I would also say to Dr. Mattson and to Vice Mayor Merwitzer, in my own opinion, I don't think it's right that you attend these meetings to give further input to that. Yes, you can do it, but I don't think it's right. I think the Charter Review Commission, each member was appointed by each of us, and I believe they should be left to finish their job without any type of interruptions from the council. Both of you know that if you want to put something on the ballot, you get 3 votes up here and you can do it. So that's it, and that's all I have to say on that. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for the time.
Thank you. All right, let's, all those in favor of putting the item on the agenda indicate by saying aye.
Roll call vote, please.
Okay, a roll call vote. Good.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer,
No.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
Yes.
Councilmember Patrick Fiore,
No.
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
No, I will just say I would encourage filing the complaint, though.
Councilmember Marsha Matson.
No.
Okay, the item fails. So there's one more item to put on, potentially to put on the agenda. This is an item that is being sponsored by the Parks Director, and it is to authorize the use of the lot estate at no cost to St. Andrew's Episcopal Church. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any conversation? Okay.
I would just ask, well, I'll wait until you decide if you're going to, I have a question if you guys do put it on the agenda, if it does
Okay.
pass.
All right. Is there any comments on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Your question?
Would you like that on consent or regular resolutions?
It's a great idea.
Consent?
Consent.
Move it
Okay.
to put it on the consent?
Okay, there's been motion to put it on consent. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Father, thank you for coming tonight, but you're on consent agenda, so you don't need to stay unless you want to make comments in a little bit at the opening. All right. Thank
Although,
you.
Father, you might consider throwing a blessing or two up here.
All right, so for the purposes, that'll be item 12G on the consent agenda, Madam Clerk. All right, we are done with any additions. At this time, we will, actually at this time, if I could get someone to move the minutes from March 2nd.
Move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, at this time, we'll take requests, petitions, and public comments. This is normally about items that are not on tonight's agenda. So if you've got a comment that you want to share with us, come on up, Mr. Pastorell, and give us your name and address. Come on up, sir.
Gary Pastorella, 6940 Southwest 142nd Terrace. It's unfortunate that you all didn't get a chance to take a look at the video. I think these people need to understand what actually transpired in the alleged violation of the sunshine. I happen to have been attending the last 3 meetings, and it seems that the Charter Review Committee is in somewhat disarray. It was shocking to me what transpired and the attitude, especially of the chairperson. It should be noted that he has the support of both Marcia and Mark, as Mark appointed that particular individual. I got a phone call that day, midday, from the former Mayor Stanzik, and she was quite upset of how she was spoken to in the when Mark had called her to literally give her a hard time and regarding what was about to transpire. So I think you should have at least watched the video. The people should understand what's been transpiring. As far as I'm concerned, this particular committee at this point in time has failed miserably. The quality of leadership and the disarray that has been conducted in this meeting, I think it should just be sunshined, and that's the end of it.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
My name is Hitaru Parkovich, 9280 Southwest 167 Terrace, Palmetto Bay. I just want to say thank you to this administration and welcome our new major back to our sheriff's office. You know, it's incredible when you look around how blessed we are, have amazing administration, have amazing village manager, and definitely have amazing municipal police and sheriff's office here. And I'm very thankful to be a resident of this nice place. Thank you.
Thank you. Last speaker or next speaker?
Chuck Latshaw, 8825 Southwest 154 Terrace. Wanted to speak this evening about consent agenda item 12D, which refers to the restricting on most of the municipal streets in Palmetto Bay the speed limit. The proposal is to take the speed limits down to 20 miles an hour. I believe it's a bad idea. I think essentially it will turn Palmetto Bay non-arterial streets into a school zone, the entirety of the village. You know who has a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit? Private property, East Ridge. So in the retirement village, the speed limit in there, you can't go over 20. That's not, I think, appropriate for our village. It's basically for streets on private property in restricted areas where there are serious reasons to have that control of traffic, fire department entrance and exits, things of that nature. I think bicyclists will actually get struck between cars that they can't get past because bicyclists are certainly able to go exceed 20 miles an hour, especially in their group rides on the weekends. I think it will increase congestion by slowing traffic. I think it'll frustrate drivers and increase road rage. I think police will be extremely busy writing tickets because it's extremely easy to exceed a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit, a distance to go through the village. And contrary, I think it's a policy contrary to Dade County's intentions to facilitate traffic flow through the village and through the county as best as they can. And as far as speed control, I don't believe there is a municipality in South Florida, in Florida possibly, that has as many speed bumps per mile of road as Palmetto Bay does. So there's already a lot of effort made to control, and I think what's more appropriate is to enforce the speed limit laws and the traffic laws that we have instead of trying to restrict it further, because it's still going to need the enforcement with the penalties. So, good idea, and I hope it does not get traction. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Henry Clifford, 8875 Southwest 171st Street, Palmetto Bay. I didn't come up here for this, but I want to disagree with Chuck Latshaw. You know, if you somehow had a 20 or 25 mile an hour speed limit, you might not need all the speed bumps because people would be slowing down, at least some would, for the speed limit, getting down to the general speed that we're looking for inside the city. I worked on an Air Force base that was almost 4 miles across. Drove it every day, 20 mile an hour speed limit. After the second or third day, I didn't even notice it. My kids live in Portland, Oregon, 25 miles an hour almost throughout the whole city. It's the size of Miami. You don't even think about it. And there's no giant uproar or problem. People get along with it. Bicycles coexist very nicely with that speed limit. All right, so what I came up here for was to thank Director Carmona and the manager for the Woods. You're coming along very nicely. The IRC is doing exactly what you asked them to do, apparently. So far, so good. And we met with Director Carmona, some of the neighbors, and IRC regarding the location of the paths and relocation slightly of the forests as they're planning, and a volunteer program, and everything seemed to come out very smoothly, and we were very pleased. So thank you, Director Carmona. Thank you, Nick Brana. Bye.
Very good, thank you so much. All right, with that, I'm going to close request petitions. Yes, please, go ahead.
The clerk's office received 3 public comments by form. The comments that are received are read into the record in the order they are received for a time allotment of 1 minute. The first comment was received by Brian Tenenbaum, 8740 Southwest 155th Terrace. In response to the agenda item, which is considered an add-on item, Councilman Cody's resolution seeking to remove Chair Levy from the Charter Revision Commission. I am a member of the commission and referenced in the resolution. On page 3, there is what purports to be a transcript of the meeting, which I understand was created by Cody, where during a discussion I asked Cody if he had anything to say about this. I then said, because I think something happened here, that's a little untoward. The comment is taken out of context and presented in a way to appear to be discussing the Sunshine Law issue. In the resolution, it is presented as my response to the alleged communication between Stancic and Levy. If it was not, my referral to this was the change in position of the attorney, which is now not to assist the commission in drafting charter amendments. The next comment was received by Paul Schrepp, 6850 South Carty Road. Thank you for allowing me to serve on the Charter Revision Commission, and I'm sorry I can't be with you in person today. The Charter Revision Commission has been ably served and led by the chair, and I strongly oppose any effort to remove him, which is unwarranted and appears a retribution for the chair's support for reasonable charter improvements, which will benefit our village if adopted. It is clear the CRC needs separate legal assistance to ensure our charter proposals are adopted sufficiently in a sufficient form, so I urge you to support Councilmember Matten's resolution to allow Mr. De La Gloria to assist us. The final comment was received by Eric Tolberg, 7885 Southwest 179 Terrace. I note the northbound Southwest 92nd Avenue bike lane has been extended to US 1. The southbound lane starts with the road turns south near the canal. Better bike facilities are appreciated. Thank you.
Very good. With that, I am going to close the request petitions and public comments, and we'll move into the village manager's report. Mr. Manager and Mr. Attorney and Madam Clerk, in the interest of time, could you give us the briefest? I mean, we have it in writing, so if you could just give us the cliff notes of your reports, I would appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And if it's okay with the village council, I'd like to bring up first our audit team, then bring our lobbyist, and then I'll do the department reports very briefly, and the police report.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Director Chin, please.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, and guests. Tonight I have with us Moise Ariza, partner of CBIZ, and Elias Rodriguez of CBIZ as manager. They completed the financial audit for the village for 2025. They did not find any material errors or weaknesses, and they're here to discuss the numbers with you. Thank you.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Village Council members. My name is Moises Ariza. I'm with the firm of CBIZ CPAs, and we are an external CPA firm that performed the financial audit for the fiscal year September 30th, 2025. And as part of today's agenda package, you receive a copy of the annual comprehensive financial report, which is a financial statement. And my colleague, Elias Rodriguez, is going to go over certain sections of the document. If you want to follow along, we'll make reference to the printed page numbers.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the Village Council. I'm going to just do this as brief as possible. If you can follow with me to page 1 of the document. is going to be the independent auditor's report. And what did we audit? We audited the financial statements of the village for the fiscal year September 30th, 2025. On that same paragraph below in the section of the opinions, I'm just going to read the opinion really quick. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material aspects the respective financial position of the government's activities, each major fund, and aggregate remaining fund information for the village as of September 30th, 2025. That is an unmodified opinion, which is also known as a clean opinion, which is the only opinion you would want to be associated with in an audit. I'm going to skip through to the MD&A, just a recommendation. If you're not going to read anything else in this document, I'd highly recommend you read this section. It's about 10 pages. It mentions quantitative and qualitative information of the financial statements. Skipping through to your financial statements section, it's going to be on page 14. And that's going to be your statement in that position. It's comprised of your assets, liabilities, deferred outflows and resources, in addition to your deferred inflows and resources. The difference of that equation is going to be your net position, which is similar to your equity. You have ending net position for that year of $87.9 million. In your statement of activities, which is pretty much your profit and loss, is similar to a profit and loss statement, you have opening net position of $84 million, a positive increase in net position of $3.8 million, and a net position of $87.9 million for the fiscal year. Skipping through to the, if you can follow me, to the compliance section. That's going to be on page 70. You're going to have your independent auditor's report on our independent auditor's report on internal controller financial reporting and on compliance and other matters. We're pleased to announce that you have no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses for the year. And you also had a single audit for the fiscal year. There were also no findings or matters reported for the fiscal year. Good.
Report was released to the elected body on the 27th of March. And as Elias mentioned, it's almost 100 pages, and there's a section within the document that is 9 pages. It starts on page 4, ends in page 13. It's the management discussion analysis. If I was to recommend a section to read in its entirety, it will be those 9 pages because it's written from management's point of view, summarizes your current year activity, compares it to fiscal year 24, provides you qualitative information of what's driving those financial differences and fluctuations when comparing fiscal year 25 to 24. This document is submitted to the Florida Auditor General, the GFOA, and also your federal grantors. So they receive a copy of this, and as mentioned, you received a clean opinion. It's an unmodified opinion in terms of a financial audit. That is the highest regard that one could receive for a financial external audit. So I'll open up to any questions you may have.
Any questions? No. Very good. I would just say to the kids in the audience, this essentially means we got an A on our math test. We did really, really good. So, and the numbers can sometimes be boring, but it's important stuff to make sure that you've got money in the bank and you're not making a lot of errors in your accounting. So I did just want to say congratulations, Desmond. I see the smile on your face. I spoke to you previously. Congratulations. It's a big deal. And Mr. Manager, congratulations. We will say for this 1 minute, I'm going to give you a round of applause because it's a big deal. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Mr. Manager.
Okay, communications, if we could get Mr. Joseph Salzberg up.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. How dare you put me after the auditors? I don't know how to follow that.
Joseph, we hear you.
You guys hear me all right? I think there's an issue there.
Joseph, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead. It's your turn.
All right. Well, this is going to be just a brief overview of the 2026 legislative session, which is not yet concluded. As most folks know, the one job that the legislature constitutionally has to perform is passing a balanced budget. They have not yet been able to do that. They have to do it before July 1st of this year, which is when the next fiscal year for the state begins. So for all intents and purposes, policy has concluded for this session, but the budget has not. So for the session this year minus the budget, 237 bills passed, which is probably a historic low and even less than last year. The most important piece of legislation as it relates to the village would have to be Senate Bill 1434, infill redevelopment. As the body and the village are well aware, that legislation had major exposure to the village as it related unintendedly to subject parcel in the village, and an amendment was adopted in both chambers on both pieces of legislation to make sure that the village's concern was adequately addressed. So happy to report that that bill passed with our fix in it. The last two things that I'll touch on is, as I mentioned, there's no budget, there's no agreement on allocations, but for the village's two funding priorities, we're in an excellent position. Our Southwest 82nd Street project is currently funded in the House and the Senate, and some Basin number 39 is funded in the House, which is frankly the budget you'd want to be in. And the last thing I'll touch on before taking questions, as I said, this is a sort of brief post-policy update, and I'm happy to come down in person after the budget and all of legislative session concludes, is the multitude of special sessions that we're facing. So the legislature will reconvene in Tallahassee the week of April 20th for congressional redistricting. There will also have to be a special session as it relates to the budget and the tax package prior to July 1. And then we fully expect a special session as it relates to property taxes. What those proposals look like remains to be seen. As part of the session posturing, the House did pass a removal of homestead exemption, homesteaded property taxes. The Senate ultimately didn't take that up, and it's everybody is widely considered to be taking up in a special session. So with that, I'll open it up to some questions.
Thank you. Questions? No? Yes. Councilwoman Mattson.
Yes. I have two questions. Would you please put your report in writing? The sound quality for me was so poor I couldn't understand most of what you said. Would you do that, please?
Same here, quality's spared, but yeah, there will be an end of session report provided to the village once session concludes, as there has been in prior years, but we'll make sure to get that over to everybody.
Thank you.
Was that a yes? Okay. All right, and then the second thing is you submit an extensive report, about 138 pages I counted, of bills. I would appreciate very much if you would send us a report of bills that would affect Palmetto Bay directly, because 138 pages of bills really doesn't do much for me. It really doesn't. It's just a whole lot of paper. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
I remember in the House, the local business tax, there was reforms to that where I believe they're actually going to abolish it. That passed the House. Did that end up passing the Senate as well, or did it just get through the House?
I'm sorry, was that regarding the property taxes, Mr. Vice Mayor?
No, it was the local business tax.
Oh, the local business tax did make it through the House, was never heard in its second committee in the Senate, and is not something that will be taken up.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have another, go ahead, Councilwoman.
What happened to Senate Bill 1434? That was the one that affected the FPL Lexicon property here in Palmetto Bay.
I already presented on that in the beginning of my comments.
Did the bill pass or with the amendment?
Correct.
Thank you. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, great. Joseph, the manager is working with Senator Colati-Ude to host a property tax workshop. I don't want to call it a workshop, but an information session, I guess. And it would be potentially with a couple of other cities that she represents down south, and we'll keep you appraised of that. She was the one that initiated the conversation, saying that she would like to come and speak to residents regarding the property tax issue, I guess, if you will. So we'll keep you posted on that if you're able to join.
Yes, she mentioned that when we spoke, I think, late last week. So that's great to hear, and I'm happy to partake if able.
Great, thank you. All right, anything else? Okay, then I'm going to turn it back over to you, Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Joseph. Communications, if you could put up my presentation. Madam Mayor, members of the Village Council, I'll hit the high points here. Good news, we submitted 2 projects to Representative Maria Salazar. She has included both of them, nearly $5 million in total federal funding. She submitted for earmark funding for both Veterans Park Phase 2 and Subbasin 11. Current year budget execution, we continue to generate a halfway into the fiscal year, about a 3 to 4% operating surplus. What that means is if we continue at this pace, we should generate enough of a surplus to fully fund all the non-budgeted requirements, such as the attorney's litigation budget. Spring recycling event, April 25th, that's coming up here at Village Hall. If I could ask Andrea Candelaria to come up and give a very brief overview of the Keep Palmetto Bay Beautiful campaign that is on the consent agenda here this evening.
Thanks, Nick. I'm Andrea, Sustainability and Resiliency Planner for the Village. Here in item 12B, it's called Keep Palmetto Bay Beautiful. This is a program that administration is proposing. It's from the affiliate of Keep America Beautiful. It's a litter prevention program that essentially associates from the federal government to the state, and then each local town can have their own program. Again, it focuses on litter prevention. And what this resolution does, it establishes the program. It designates the Resiliency Committee as the Keep Palmetto Bay Beautiful Committee. And their responsibilities are to essentially designate some streets that they will monitor for litter, submit annual reports that we'll do together. And really the benefit of this program is to really beautify our city, make sure our environment's clean, and offers great grant opportunities as well for the state and federal government. And I'm available for any questions through Nick.
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Moving on to Parks and Recreation, our new farmers market vendor is up and operating. They were not operational on Easter Sunday, but we will expect them back out there. The Palmetto Bay Park and the Coral Reef Park Asphalt Trail Reconstruction Program, that contract was approved by Village Council. It's been executed. You probably will see work at Coral Reef Park beginning this week, weather depending. Moving on to Public Works, Southwest 92nd Avenue, if you drive out there, you'll see that complete street project is just about finished. The bike lanes have been completed. We are going to add a physical barrier of chicanes between the speed tables and the bike lanes to keep cars from evading the speed tables, so to speak, and swerving into the bike lane. Landscaping has been completed. 148th Street, that chicane landscaping is in progress. The village has already planted 2 trees, and you're going to see this weekend the Girl Scout troop go out and complete that project. Finally, for Public Works, their parking lot project has received a final permit, and we should be putting that out for an ITB a little bit later this month. For planning and zoning, April zoning hearing of note, there is on first reading a ag to a EM zoning at the address indicated on the slide here. That will also require an LPA hearing prior to the zoning hearing. And with that, Madam Mayor, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Great questions for the manager. Vice Mayor?
I heard from the chair of the tree board earlier today during public comments regarding some updates with the woods. I just wanted to get the most up-to-date information regarding what kind of restoration work and community outreach is being done at the woods.
Yeah, I can get that and provide that to you by email, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Perfect. Thank you. That's all.
Yes, sir.
Councilwoman?
What is happening with the illegal parking on the pickleball property?
Ma'am, that's not illegal parking.
Another question, follow-up, why is it not illegal parking? It's not our workers, as far as I can tell. It's the workers, the construction workers from the Shores Townhouse construction.
So they had been permitted to park there until our construction project was active.
Follow-up question. Go ahead. Are we charging them money for that?
We are not.
All right, then I have comments to make about that later.
Anything else? All right, very good. Are you, we're not making. All right. Police report, thank you.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, Village Council, and Charter Officers. Major Rodriguez does not start until next week, so I will be giving the report tonight.
A few more days of vacay.
Our numbers are very low for February. No homicides, no forcible sex offenses. We had 2 robberies. One of them was, by definition, it was during a traffic collision. And by definition, it was robbery, but the subject is identified and robberies work in that case. The other one was a robbery at the Shell gas station in which, can you hear me now? Yeah. The other one was a robbery at the Shell gas station in which one of our officers was also assaulted. You'll see that number coming up. We had 1 package theft, which met the requirement or the criteria for larceny over. 1 auto theft at a car dealership. We suspect that that's due to inventory. No commercial burglaries. No residential burglaries. No vehicle burglaries. 2 aggravated assaults. Like I mentioned before, one of them was the officer, and the other one, which an arrest has also been made on, was someone who implied a firearm during a road rage incident. That's our residential burglary map. You can go to the next one. No vehicle burglaries, go on. And we issued 967 citations in February. Any questions?
Thanks. All right, we will move into the village attorney's report. Comments on the village man? Okay, we don't have comments as a part of the agenda here. Is it something quick you want to? Go ahead.
Okay, the problem, so I have a comment about this parking on the pickleball property. I live about 3 blocks away, and I've noticed that dozens of cars from construction workers park on the pickleball property, which is, I guess, in the process of waiting for its permit. Now, the problem with this, in my view, first of all, a resident asked me whether there was payment under the table for this, because typically, as I understand it, construction companies pay to store equipment or to park on property when they do not have parking on the site. So Palmetto Bay is losing out potentially on money for the rental of this property for parking for the development, the construction next door. The second problem is right on that same street where the driveway goes into the pickleball property, there is our new pay to park parking spaces on a public street, and those are generally empty because the workers can park in the pickleball court or the pickleball property. So we don't collect the revenue from either the pay to park or from the pickleball property. And so I think that this is a problem. I've interacted with the manager about this on several occasions, and apparently it's okay, but I really don't think it's okay because I think that Palmetto Bay should be making money from that.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, no. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Your report? I'm sorry? Oh, I'm so sorry, John.
That's okay. I'll be very quick.
Yes.
My invoices are provided for the general municipal, so if there's any questions, feel free. I'm happy to answer. I know some of you had asked questions. I provided you my answers as to what those are. One other thing I did want to point out, and I'll be very brief. A little while ago, the vice mayor had approached the clerk and I about maybe trying to streamline the meetings a little bit by reading the titles more like a short title. We can't do that for ordinances, but Ms. Unite actually talked about maybe rolling that out tonight to see if it's something you guys would like to try. Might actually end up being a good night considering we got a little bit of a late start. So maybe just we'll give it a go. If you guys don't like it, we'll go back to the regular full reading.
I like it already. Sounds good. Go ahead.
I've got a question about the Farquharson versus Palmetto Bay case. Do we have a motion for attorney's fees which is active in that and available if we prevail in getting the matter dismissed, that we can go after Mr. Farquharson for fees?
Oh, yes, there's one has been served. It hasn't been filed yet. That usually, those types of things are usually filed after if there's a dismissal or anything like that. But there, a 57-105, as my understanding, has been filed or served. Sorry, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else, Vice Mayor?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you very much for the collaboration regarding the clerk being able to read the short titles. I think that's going to be a great step to speed things up and not have to read a giant paragraph of legalese. So I'll start with a thank you there. I'll also thank you as well for your collaboration with the Charter Committee. I know it was a very difficult situation, and I'm glad that you're able to move in the direction where we can at least bring our former village attorney back on board. But in the meantime, since that email went out, I received a couple calls from several committee members who have reached out to me with concerns about their independence and ability to work with what we asked them to do. So I believe some of these volunteers just deserve some clarity, and I'd like to just ask a couple things on the record so that the members of the committee feel that they're assured that their work is valuable, and also that the counsel that they're receiving is truly what they should be expecting. So I just wanted to start last week in your email specifically, which says that De La Gloria will receive direction from the village manager to, quote, ensure alignment, consistency, and forward progress. I'm wondering if you could explain what those terms mean in practice, and, for example, alignment with whom, consistency with what, and who decides what will forward progress look like.
So under the agreement with Mr. De La Gloria, he's supposed to work through the manager and the village attorney. So that's what that's referring to. The direction that I've spoken with John about is take it and go. If whatever the majority of the Charter Commission votes that they want to put on, he is going to prepare it and put it on, and that will be coming back, and obviously will come before the voters. There are some things that I will need to advise him or work with him on. There's specifically some proposals that are going to have to thread a very tight needle as it relates to property rights, potential Burt Harris claims, and SB 180 restrictions from the 2025 bill. I've already advised Mr. De La Gloria of that. I had previously advised the proposer of that I was willing to work with him on that, because you could see that was going to have to be drafted very tightly to be potentially legally sound. Hadn't heard back from him yet on that, but obviously if it moves forward, I don't think the committee's voted on that yet. But so John is going to be moving forward, taking that on and drafting everything, obviously in consult with the village attorney and the manager, because that's what his contract says he needs to do.
Yeah, thank you for that. And as a follow-up, I know that you mentioned that there's some specific proposals that your office is going to have to work through, specifically to ensure that our village is legally safe, for lack of a better term. Can the administration explain what that process will be if, for example, there's a different perspective between the committee and the administration? If there's differences in proposals, like how would that be worked out in the future?
You mean if I say, if I'm not willing to sign off saying it's legal?
Yes.
This is the standard practice with every city. The village attorney needs to sign off on legality. And if it's not legal, we will bring them back a draft of language that is. If they're not happy with it, they can reconsider it. But we cannot put anything on the ballot that is illegal because it will open us up to a challenge, and then we will have to fight that in court, and we'll have to spend attorney's fees doing it. So my goal as the village attorney is to work with the village to ensure that whatever we do, whether it's a charter amendment proposal or anything, is legal and is defensible so that we can hopefully save the village money and time going forward and ensure that it's something that whatever we're doing is proper. So if they disagree, that's kind of what happens sometimes. You have a village attorney for a reason, and I have to put my name on it. And I'm not going to stand in the way of something that they propose. If I'm not up here as a 6th council member any more than I'm a 6th charter review committee member. If I don't think if it's a wise decision, just like if you all make a decision, I don't think it's wise, my mouth stays shut. I just tell you guys whether it's legal or not. You guys make the decision. The charter review committee is the same thing. Whether it's a wise decision or not, in my opinion, that's not my role. My role is just to say, this is legal, this is how you can do it, this is how you can put it on the ballot.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because I think that's a really important clarification, because one of the concerns that was brought up by one of the members on the record during the meeting is that there was concern about, for example, the village attorney's office being in a position where they would just pretty much unilaterally veto whatever the committee comes up with in that language. So just based on what I heard tonight, the village attorney's office is willing to work with those members of that committee and the committee as a whole to work through those differences and hopefully get something that's...
I would say that this whole thing is very upsetting to me. I have told them for months that I have been willing to work with them. In fact, even they knew for a number of weeks, maybe longer, that this was something they were going to have to draft. And even in light of that, we still prepared a draft resolution for them to put their information in with guidelines as to what needs to be done, how many words need to be in it, how many words need to be in the summary, in the title, all of this. I never heard anything from them until that day. And so this is very upsetting to me to hear that any of them would say that they think that the village attorney is not going to work with them to accomplish whatever their goal is. That's my job. I'm a professional and I take that to heart. I am not sacrificing my position as an attorney for anyone. It doesn't matter to me who the client is. I'm not saying no, I'm not saying yes. I'm saying this is how you can do it. If that's what you want to do, great. I'll sign my name as the legality. If you can't, because SB 180 says you can't do something, I just use that as an example. I say, you're not able to do it this way, but here's another way you might be able to do it, and then they consider it that way. So I am a professional. I will work with them just as I work with everybody else. My role is to make sure that the village is defended, to make sure that the village is put in the best position so that we can avoid any lawsuit challenging, in this case, a ballot amendment.
And just as a follow-up, and I'll close out with this, I really do appreciate your patience throughout this process. I know we spoke before the meeting, and I know that there was a lot of back and forth, so I appreciate you working through that. Again, the intention here is not to upset or anything, it's to just get some clarity for those members who raise those concerns, and ultimately I'm trying to just get that clarified, and I do appreciate you clarifying that tonight, and I'm hoping that after this evening, we'll be able to get everything taken care of for the committee, so thank you.
Thank you. A quick question, and I'm sorry that you have to be subjected to some of this silliness, but as it relates to the village attorney, do you opine on sunshine violations, even in a committee meeting or commission meeting?
I don't usually opine as to whether one occurred. We give advice as to, if somebody were to call me before the fact and say, I am thinking about doing this, I would say either don't do it because it would be a sunshine violation, or I think you're treading into those waters, or you're probably okay. If somebody were to ask me afterwards, I could give my thoughts, but that's just my thoughts. The ultimate decision maker as to whether there's a sunshine violation is there's really three avenues. The state attorney's office, because it is a punishable through criminal prosecution, the State Ethics Commission, and the Dade County Ethics on Trust. Those, the Dade County Ethics Trust, those are really the three ultimate people who would opine as to whether or not it's something that they believe there's probable cause to prosecute. Did that answer the question?
It did, to some extent, because we got an email today from John De La Gloria, which kind of surprised me, opining on Mr. Pastorella's an email. I don't get them, so I had to go back down and read this concerned citizens email. But he's saying, I don't even know why he was writing to us, but he said, as you sent me your organization's email, I just want to comment on the Charter Commission items. My role is not to comment on removing members, which I agree, that is the decision of the council, or opining on sunshine law violations. So I mean, to me, and you're kind of explaining it, if someone reaches out to you and has a conversation, or even after the fact and says, hey, I called Councilwoman Mattson and talked to her about such and such, you could have the conversation with them and say, oh, don't do that again, I assume, right?
Yeah, I would say next time call me, don't pick up the phone.
Right,
And if it's really serious, I would say there's some ethics attorneys I can recommend to refer you to that you might want to talk to.
I understand. Excuse me. All right, Councilmember Cody.
Just so that I understand, with the retention of Mr. De La Gloria in this new role, he is not acting as an attorney for the Charter Revision Commission in the sense that they are his client. His client as a consultant and as an attorney is still the village council, correct?
That's correct. His agreement is with the council. He works through administration, through the manager and I. His job tasks are working with the Charter Review Commission, but he is a contractor of the village, not the CRC specifically. The CRC is not its own separate independent entity. They are a committee of the, or commission, I guess, of the village.
Thank you.
All right, anything else for the village attorney? All right, very good. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Mayor and members of the Village Council. My comments for the clerk report will be brief. Regarding the announcement of the public meetings for April of 2026, I would like to forego announcing them individually. All the meeting dates and times are listed on the village website, and these meetings provide an opportunity for the public to stay informed and actively participate. However, I would like to point out that the next regular council meeting of the council is scheduled for Monday, May 4th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Regarding advisory boards and committees, the Village of Palmetto Bay has been actively soliciting applications for a vacancy on both the Education Advisory Committee and the Parks and Recreation Committee. The member solicitations are included in your agenda packet this evening under the clerk's report section. And lastly, I'm very excited to announce that the village's passport acceptance facility will participate in the Passport Resource Fair hosted by the Office of Congresswoman Maria Salazar on Thursday, April 9th from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Westchester Regional Library. In partnership with other municipalities in South Dade, we will be accepting walk-in passport appointments during the event on Thursday. And as I said, this is an exciting opportunity to serve the community while also generating a revenue source for the Village of Palmetto Bay. A copy of the event flyers is also part of my agenda packet. Thank you so much. And this concludes my report.
Thank you, very good. Could I get somebody to move the board and committee reports?
Move it.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, we are on ordinances for second reading. Madam Clerk, or I'm sorry, would somebody move item 10A? It's been moved by Councilwoman Mattson.
Second.
It's been seconded by Councilmember Cody. Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
Item 10A, an ordinance of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida regarding council committees, amending the Code of Ordinances of the Village of Palmetto Bay at Section 2-46 committees to revise and amend provisions relating to the establishment, composition, duties, and procedures of council committees, providing for codification, severability, and an effective date. This ordinance is sponsored by Councilmember Marsha Matson and co-sponsored by Village Clerk Missy Arocha.
Thank you. Councilwoman?
Yes, in the interest of time, rather,
And I'm so sorry. Public comment? Okay. And Madam Clerk, we didn't have any comments by form. Go ahead, Councilwoman.
in the interest of time, I would like to move that, or I'd like to find out the consensus of the council, whether they want another presentation, in which case I will call up the clerk to describe what this ordinance is about.
It's all, no one needs another presentation.
Let's call the vote.
Okay, very good. I'm going to go ahead and call the question. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Mayor Karen Cunningham.
Yes.
Councilmember Patrick Fiore.
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
Yes.
Councilmember Marsha Matson.
Yes.
Okay, the item passes 5-0. Would somebody move item 11A?
Moved.
Pass that down for me. I'll second it.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Please read the item.
Item 11A, an ordinance of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida regarding council discussion, amending the Code of Ordinances at Section 2-49, subsection A, council discussion, public participation, and decorum, by establishing a total time limit for each council member's questions and discussion during a meeting, superseding and repealing ordinance number 2026-02, providing for codification, severability, and an effective date. This ordinance is sponsored by Mayor Karen Cunningham.
Thank you. Any public comments on the item?
Gary Pastorella, 6940 Southwest 142nd Terrace. I want to thank the mayor for actually bringing this forward. For those of us who actually attend these meetings, the last year has been very difficult at best. Some of the newly elected and whomever go on and on and on and on like they're addressing Congress. This is a community. Make it quick. I said this before. If you can't get your point across in 5 minutes, you shouldn't be discussing it. You haven't put your thoughts together. And I've said this, I'm going to say it again. You should have 5 minutes. We have 3 minutes. You can't get it done then. And you don't get question after question. And like when we're questioning the village manager or the village attorney, well, I have another question. I have another question. I have another question. Get it done 5 minutes. Let's move on.
Henry Clifford, 8875 Southwest 171st Street. I understand I think the reasons involved here. Like Gary, I'm one of the few people who are here for most meetings. They do seem to go on. My wife wants to be home at 9 o'clock. It's 9:30. We're just getting started with the first item. From what I read, 10 minutes total comment during the entire meeting is a little draconian. Many years ago, I suggested to then Mayor Flynn, we're limited to 3 minutes. Why don't you make yourselves limited to 5 minutes on each particular item? And if you want longer, then you need to vote on giving longer. Gary's right, if you can't say it, people don't pay attention after the first minute or so anyway. If you can't do it quickly, but also the sponsor of the item probably needs an extra dose of time because they're supposed to explain it, they have rebuttal at the end and so forth. 10 minutes total of the entire meeting is a little much, but it would be nice to be able to get out before 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And some of these items actually could use a little more discussion at the end and people hurry through them or they get referred on because we're out of time. We used to have to be out of the Deering Estate Visitor Center at 9:30. It closed. We got all of our business done, and we were out the door. And if we weren't out the door, the policemen ran us out the door. That was it. It might have been a simpler time, but there were still a lot of items. We took care of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other speakers wish to come up? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, do we have comments by form?
No public comments by form.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. You're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. So this is really very short explanation. A few weeks back or months back, we traveled to Tallahassee, and I had the opportunity to spend some time with Councilwoman Mattson. We kind of caught up on life in general. We talked about the item that had already passed, which was 10 minutes per item. And as a part of the dialogue, she said, "Oh, I think you should have included questions." So to that end, and this is really mainly for discussion. It doesn't have to be 10 minutes for the entire meeting. Frankly, I think that's a little bit on the short side as well. But I wanted to bring it back and see if there was any temperature, or see what the temperature was for adding questions to shorten the meeting. I will say this, we've done a really great job, I think, over the last couple of meetings of kind of keeping comments short and succinct. And I do think the Granicus software, which not everybody in the room had the opportunity to see, we did a training a little bit earlier this evening at 5:30 to look at Granicus, which will keep the time for us right now. In theory, someone's keeping time. So it would keep time for us. It would help us to vote. We'd just be able to press a button to vote, not have to call the roll. I think all of that's going to kind of condense our conversations and move things along. But that was the intent, was because my colleague had mentioned, I think questions should have been added. So I was like, well, let me bring it back, and maybe everyone wanted questions added.
Thank you. Questions for the mayor? I guess I'll start with a question. I have some very deep concerns about the item as written. I understand the intent, obviously, which is to just simply add questions. I'm wondering why the item then was written as a 10-minute rule across all items instead of just adding questions as something that will run down your clock instead.
Right. Well, it's really open for discussion. I don't know what the right recipe is for condensing the meetings, moving things along. Like I said, I do see over the last few meetings, we've done in my opinion, everyone's done a really remarkable job of kind of keeping things moving. In this case, I just said, let me put that in there, and maybe it will spar some conversation to have discussion about adding questions.
Thank you. Any other questions for the mayor? Seeing none, comments. Raise your hand if you want to give comment. I'll line you all up. It looks like Councilwoman Mattson. Anyone else want to give comment behind the councilwoman? Seeing none, go ahead, Councilwoman.
Well, I think it is a good idea to add discussion to the time limit, although I did not favor a 10-minute time limit. The rest of the council did. So to add question and comments together is a good idea. But when I read this, I thought it was a typo. I thought it had to have been a mistake to limit our discussion to 10 minutes for the whole meeting, with maybe 20 items on it, 10 minutes for the whole meeting. So I can't support that at all. And we've really only experimented with the 10 minutes, for 2 or 3 months now, right? So I think we should just continue to do that, frankly.
Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and withdraw the item because it was brought on your behalf, because you were the one that had that conversation with me. That was my explanation. So do I need to take a vote to withdraw the item since we're...
Yeah, since it was moved.
I'd like to make a motion to withdraw the item.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Item
you.
withdrawn.
All right, thank you. We're moving into the next item, which is ordinance for first reading, item 11B. Would somebody move that item forward?
Move it.
Second.
Clerk?
Item 11B, an ordinance of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, relating to council meeting procedures, amending sections 2-49 and 2-50 of the Village Code of Ordinances to establish speaker registration requirements and consent agenda procedures, providing for codification, severability, and an effective date. This ordinance is sponsored by Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
Very good. Public comment? Comment by form? Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Thank you and good evening. I'm pleased to present this ordinance, which I think represents a meaningful step forward in how we run our meetings and engage with the public, because it expands rights for both the public and the council while taking nothing away from either. So this item does two things. Both are simple in concept, but I believe will be significant in practice. The first part establishes a speaker card registration system. Right now, unless someone wants to spend a lot of time reviewing the meeting footage, there's no consistent or structured way to document who spoke, which item they spoke on, or which position they took. That makes it a lot harder for our clerk to maintain an accurate public record. It also makes it harder for our residents who want to look back and see what was said and by whom. Under this proposal, speaker cards would capture the person's name, address, the item they're there to speak on, whether they're for it, against it, or simply just providing information or undecided. Cards get included in the minutes and then will be posted online. It's really straightforward. And I want to be clear, no one in this audience will ever be turned away for not filling out a speaker card. If you show up and want to speak, you will be heard. The card just helps us do a better job of keeping track. I spoke to the clerk's office about this, and they were encouraged by the idea, and I also think it's a transparency win-win for our public records. The second part of this ordinance addresses our consent agenda, and I think this is the part where we can make meetings work better for everyone in this room. Right now, only certain items make it onto the consent agenda, and this determination currently is made by the administration before we even sit down as a council. What this proposal does in its place is that all resolutions we placed on the consent agenda as a default. If any one of us wants to discuss an item, we'll simply pull it. That's it. We decide as a council at the start of meetings what deserves full discussion and what we're comfortable all approving together as one item. And think about how this changes things. If all 5 of us are fine with an item and no one wants to pull it, it just passes on consent agenda, which is, I believe, the next thing after ordinances. No extra time will be spent, but if something deserves a closer look, any one of us can pull it and make that call. So I also added a couple of practical features. Before we vote on the consent agenda, the public will get an opportunity to comment on an item before it. Currently, they do not have that right to comment on consent agenda unless they want to speak on the first part of the agenda, which is a request, petitions, and public comments. And that matters because if residents show up with concerns about something that we're about to approve with a single vote, they deserve to be heard first. And that public input helps us make a better decision about whether an item should stay on consent or come off for full discussion. And here's where the speaker cards tie back in. If the clerk receives a stack of cards on a particular consent item, that's a pretty good signal to us that I think the community would want to weigh in on it. So again, there's a couple other small practical changes. If you want to make a minor amendment to a consent agenda, you can raise it through the consent agenda process without having to pull an entire item or go through a lengthy discussion. I remember a couple of weeks ago, or during our last meeting, I had an issue with the bike lane proposal, and I wanted to make a quick change had to kind of awkwardly be done in the manager's report. This would actually provide a formal channel to address that concern if any one of us have a concern about the consent agenda. So if the other thing as well is that if someone just wants to register a no without full debate, they can do that too, but if 2 or more members register a no vote, then the item automatically comes off for an individual consideration because it's clear that item just doesn't have support. So this gives, once again, the power back to the public and their elected representatives to streamline our agenda, streamlines our meetings, and protects the public's right to participate, and creates a more transparent and organized process that I think will serve everyone in this room more effectively. I'd ask for my colleagues' support on first reading, and I look forward to your feedback. Thank you. And also, by the way, I gave a little graphic as to what's currently there and what's being changed. It's a really easy way to understand what was actually being proposed. So hope you gave it a read. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions? Questions? Comments? Go ahead.
Okay, I think it's a very good idea to have the cards, and I think generally the idea of putting all the resolutions on the consent agenda is a good one. I only have one concern, and that is you said that if any item is pulled that receives 2 or more registered no votes, then the discussion or amendments regarding that consent agenda item shall not exceed 2 minutes in total. All right, that seems to be unreasonable in terms of time. I think that it should abide by the same amount of time as we give currently to any other item, which is 10 minutes.
Thank you. May I clarify that?
Go ahead.
So the intention here with the 2-minute rule is that the 2-minute rule is only for things that are on the consent agenda process. If it's pulled for discussion, essentially what it's saying is that if you need to spend more than 2 minutes in the middle of discussion on the consent agenda, it should probably be pulled for separate consideration, and that's when that full 10 minutes would kick in later on. So again, that 2-minute limit is not for the total of the item, it is just for that item while it's on consent agenda.
Well, I'm sorry, do have a follow-up question. Well, all right, but if it's pulled, then it's not on the consent agenda, right?
Correct, it'll be removed. So for example, if discussion exceeds 2 minutes, which I just kind of arbitrarily assign that, then it'll automatically be pulled for full discussion later on. Because the intention here is if you can't make a quick comment about the item while it's on consent, and you need to have further deliberations about it, then it should probably be pulled for further discussion. That's all.
All right, I think you need to make that clearer because that didn't come through to me at all. It just sounds like the item is going to have 2 minutes discussion. But if enough members want to pull it, then it's pulled and it should get the same amount of time as any other item.
To clarify, that is the intent. And if you have any language that you'd like to work on just to clarify that legal language there, I'm happy to work with you in a sunshine meeting to just nail that down between now and second reading.
Other questions? Going once, going twice, comments? Yeah, Councilman.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I will tell you, I don't really have a use for the structured speaker registration, Mr. Vice Mayor. I think the system we have now works fine. I know what the county does, but at this point, with so many meetings left, that's irrelevant to me what they do. So that I don't like. However, have faith. I do like the idea of placing all the resolutions on the consent agenda. I agree. I think it's a pragmatic approach. I think it'll streamline everything. And you're actually right. If any of us have an issue, that can be pulled in a timely manner. So I will support the item, but not only with the second part. Does that make sense to you?
I'll make that motion to strike the speaker cards portion.
Fair enough.
I'll second it. Is there a discussion? We're on the motion of removing the speaker cards, which just for clarification, that's going to be from line 36 to line 20 on page 2. Is that right, Vice Mayor?
Correct.
And then, one moment. Okay, so that's the motion. Is there discussion or questions on that? All right, so seeing none, let's just vote on the motion to remove the lines I just mentioned regarding the cards. Madam Clerk, call the roll on the motion, please.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody, Councilmember Patrick Fiore,
Yes.
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsha Matson.
No.
Okay, so 4-1, we've removed the cards. Now we're on the item as it's been amended. I do have a question. So I'm kind of torn here as it relates to just putting every item that, knowing full well items are going to get pulled, right? So I think for the benefit of the council, if we're going to put all the items on the consent agenda, then I feel like we should move the time and day that we have, the cutoff for removal. And for me, it would be because I want to be able to have time to, we're going to look at all the items, but I want to have time then to prepare comments, or if I have, let's say I have an item on there, I'm theoretical, I have an item on there and it's a resolution, it's on consent, and you're pulling it by 5 p.m. the meeting's at 7. I may be in my car coming from work. I may not have the opportunity. I'd rather than see if we can have it pulled by 5 p.m. on Friday so that we've got the weekend to be able to, right now it's currently 12 p.m. the day of the meeting. So for the general public, it's just simple. We have when you look at the agenda, some of these items are placed on consent agenda. The Vice Mayor is right and wrong in how the items get there. We do an agenda review. The manager, the village clerk, and the attorney and I do an agenda review prior. Many times I say, I don't want, no, that's got a dollar amount that's more than this, and I would prefer to see that that we're actually having some discussion, or some of it is speculation. I think my colleague, this is something, because I know you all, just like we get to know each other, I think my colleague, this might be of interest to her, and she might want to be able to opine or have some discussion on this particular item. So please don't put that one on consent. And that's how we kind of determine, through at least from my point of view, for the speculation. And you're right, we don't put as many as we could. And one of the things that you've been doing, which I appreciate, is at the meeting, moving items then, like how this item, or we get into the meeting and we say, okay, it's 9:15, these items, whatever, it's not 9:15, everyone relax. And then we just say, hey, let's move these 3 items, and we kind of do it that way. I don't have a problem with putting them all on the consent agenda. I just want to know what's been pulled prior. So if I could, either you could just, Friday would be good, I think.
So a couple of things to that. Actually, 3 things. The first is that, in my view, if you're sponsoring an item or you have an item on the agenda, I think as a council we should be prepared to discuss each of them, regardless of if it's on the consent agenda or not, because the way I have this structured intentionally is that I would like the members of the public who are in this room, for example, to have the final say as to what should be on the consent agenda or off of it. So, for example, right now, when we get to the consent agenda, there's not a formal public process for people to come up and comment on items on the consent agenda, except for request petitions and public comments. And for example, we had a gentleman come in here earlier regarding, I think it was 12D, about the speed limit issue, for example. The way it's currently working in the ordinance as is that if someone comes in and gives that comment to us that, hey, we should have more discussion about it, if any one of us wanted to pull that item for discussion, as of right now, the rules just do not allow that unless we essentially had to suspend the rules. So I want to provide that mechanism so that the public can provide that feedback on that agenda item, and then we'd have a final determination as a council as to what that final consent agenda looks like so that the public has a say in that. I do get your point as to, like, hey, getting an idea as to what the council members would like to see on the actual discussion side of things and off the consent agenda. So I'm open to moving that written deadline to Friday at 12 p.m., for example, so that we have that idea. But I would just put an asterisk on it that my hope is that the public in this room would have a final say on what should be on that consent agenda so that we're a little bit more nimble. But I just think as a practical matter, if I have a problem with an item or I want to discuss it, I'm happy to notify the clerk by 12 p.m. on Friday to give her that heads up. But I just want to have that flexibility in case someone comes in, for example, in 12D, and if they made a persuasive argument to me, to be able to pull that for discussion further. So that's the only thing I'm trying to really balance this out with.
So I have another question then. How is the public, like I'm gauging, if I get questions from the public, that's the gauge. I end up pulling the item, right? If I have questions about an item, or I get a series of questions about an item that's on the consent agenda, I would naturally pull that item.
Of course, but for example, with, I don't want to single anyone out, but we had a member of the public come up today. I did not receive an email from that member of the public before they came up to speak. I think some members of the public would prefer to just come up and give their comments at the podium live instead of emailing in advance. I just think for the public's benefit, I think it's good to have that last minute process. Again, I have that written process in there to signal intent and to have that published so that people know what will actually be discussed during the meeting, and then give that public the final say, because I'm trying to make it so we're balancing that efficiency with the public.
I understand. For me now, it's starting to get very complicated, in my opinion, and I don't know if I'm going to support it or not. I appreciate the discussion. Yes, Councilwoman.
Yes, I'd just like to address moving the time to Friday. That would be detrimental to me. I don't get the agenda book until usually Thursday. And I can't really stare at screens. I know everybody's a techie here, some of you are techies, but I'm not. I don't look at computer screens and read things. I read them in books. That would be very detrimental. I'd only have one day to review the agenda. So that's my problem with moving it to Friday.
So as a follow-up to that, it sounds to me like there's different opinions about how this should work. I'll leave an offer on the table to all of you. If you'd like to meet with me in the sunshine between now and second reading, I'm happy to make time for you. It sounds like to me in its current form, I heard myself, the commissioner, and Councilman Mattson leaning in support. I'd like to work on this further with all of you in the meantime and develop something between now and second reading if you have further concerns, and I'm happy to have that discussion in sunshine. So I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you. Councilmember Cody?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm not going to be supporting this item. I don't think that we need to pass this with the idea that we can come back. If it is not adopted, you're certainly free at our May meeting to bring something else forward, and then we'll take a look at it. But I don't see the sense in passing something and then saying, but we're going to do a wholesale rewrite of it. So you keep talking about wanting the public to be apprised of what's going on, but that's not what you're doing now. You're saying, we'll tell the public one thing, and then we'll have meetings in the sunshine, which, as you see, people don't normally attend, and then we'll do a complete rewrite. I think the rewriting should happen on your end for the May meeting for you to come forward. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
All right, any other comment?
Just as a point of inquiry to our attorney, if there's substantial revisions to the ordinance, it has to come back for a third reading, correct?
Yes, depending on what the revisions are, it might require it to go back to first reading. So that's where the third reading comes from, yeah.
Got it, that's all I have.
All right, is there anything else? All right, we are on the item as it has been amended, and I'll call the question. Madam Clerk, go ahead and read the item. I'm sorry, go ahead and call the roll.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer?
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody?
No.
Councilmember Patrick Fiore?
Yes.
Mayor Karen Cunningham?
No.
Councilmember Marsha Mattson?
Yes.
The item passes. It'll be on its way to second reading, 3-2. All right, we are now on resolutions. Do we want to put all of these on the consent agenda?
I'm open to doing that. I'm serious about it. Unless people have something they want to pull separately.
And I'm sorry, I skipped the consent agenda. Have
Right.
any? Yes, I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, there's one that you should not put on the consent agenda, and actually, it's just because of the language in the code, and I was going to recommend that it get moved to 13. That is the renaming, the co-designation of the street to Chabad Way. That's because under the code, it says that it's a resolution after a public hearing, and just didn't catch that it was in 14 as opposed to 13. So that would be a fine time. If you want to move them all to consent, that's fine, but with the exception of that one, we need to do public hearing.
Let me go back to consent agenda, the actual consent agenda. Did anybody pull any of the consent agenda items?
No.
Okay.
Consent agenda.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. I assume then we are not adding any resolutions to the consent agenda. All right.
Mayor, I would move that we take up 14B immediately.
Sorry, D?
14B as in boy.
Okay. There's a motion to move item 14B. Is there a second?
Second.
Can I make a request that they include moving it to section 13 of our agenda, where that says resolutions requiring public hearing?
Move it.
There's been a motion and a second, and we're just going to call it 13B?
Yeah, we can call it 13B if you want.
Okay. All right. With that, Madam Clerk, did you follow all that? All right. Yeah, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Madam Clerk, can you read item 13B?
A resolution of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, related to street code designation, code designating Southwest 78th Court between Southwest 166th Street and Southwest 168th Street as Shabbat Way in the Village of Palmetto Bay in honor of the Shabbat of Palmetto Bay and Deering Bay, providing for the installation of appropriate signage and providing for an effective date. This item is sponsored by Mayor Karen Cunningham.
Thank you. Any public comments? In the meantime as well, I'd like to actually see if I can co-sponsor this. So I believe if I co-sponsor it, I have to pass the gavel to someone else. So would you be open to me co-sponsoring this?
Sure. Why don't you
Perfect.
pass it to council member, we'll start with District 1. And then if someone else co-sponsors it, and a third, I don't know if you've co-sponsored, does it matter? What if everybody co-sponsored? Then who gets to chair? We're hitting you with the hard
Everybody
questions.
co-sponsors, I'll look at our code, but I would just default back to the mayor because everybody would have the same conflict, I guess.
Anybody else want to co-sponsor?
Of course, I'll co-sponsor.
Sure. Okay. It just leaves you, Patrick.
I'll hold a gavel.
Okay. All right. Go. Go for it.
Not a lot of time left. 6 meetings. Okay. Well, we need to read, did we read the item?
Yes.
Okay, so public comment is now open. So go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Susan Feldman. I live in the Palmetto Station Apartments at 17945 Southwest 97th Avenue, apartment 111. And I have to tell you, I just love Palmetto Bay. I'm here to address you, our city council members, about adding the name of Chabad Way to Southwest 78th Court. Chabad is Chabad is here to service all residents of Palmetto Bay, Jew and non-Jew alike. Chabad is not just a synagogue for spiritual service, it's here to help every single person for whatever physical or spiritual needs they may have. Whether it's giving advice, bringing warm food to a home of a person who is lonely or ill, helping someone to get a job, guiding a person through challenging times, or helping a person strengthen their spiritual needs. Chabad is also a second home for every resident in Palmetto Bay. That's why it's called Chabad House, a house which represents the warmth, love, and care that a home can bring. A classic example is when a non-Jewish woman came to the door and said she needed help finding a job. They're helping her find a job right now. If Passover comes and a person doesn't have a place to go for Seder, they're always welcome with open arms. Rabbi and his family are amazing people. It's an honor that we, as citizens of Palmetto Bay, can bestow on Chabad our appreciation by co-naming their street Chabad Way. So many times they have had to reach in their own pockets to just help out a person who's a resident of Palmetto Bay. Please, this is a wonderful opportunity for us to say thank you. We appreciate everything you do and look forward to many years of your genuine service. Thank you.
Ms. Feldman, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's in my DNA now.
6 meetings left. Next speaker, please.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ilana Eskenazi. I live on 15301 Southwest 77th Ave. And I'm a proud resident of Palmetto Bay. So I'm truly happy that you guys are considering naming our street Chabad Way, because the street name really tells a story. Chabad is not just a synagogue, it's something much more. It's a place where every person in the community can feel at home. It's truly a second home to so many residents. Chabad doesn't have formal memberships. It runs on contributions, and people come as they are. Some come often, some come occasionally. Some give and some don't, but everyone is welcomed equally. It creates a real sense of family where every person feels seen and valued. I have personally seen how the Rabbi, Chani, and her family show up for everyone in this community, Jews and non-Jews. In moments of joy and in moments of need, the Chabad of Palmetto Bay is always there for you. Chabad is a source of light, and especially in times like these when we need more light, inclusion, and more places where people can feel comfortable being who they are, Chabad is essential. Naming the street Chabad Way is not just a name. It reflects what this place already is, a way of living, a way of caring, a way of bringing people together, just like our village values. I strongly encourage you to approve it. Thank you.
My name is Chani Gunsberg, and I live at 16721 Southwest 78 Court, and I'm a proud resident of Palmetto Bay. So thank you very much for including naming Chabad Way in this evening's agenda. Your time to this very important matter is really appreciated. As we know, America was built on religious freedoms. It was founded on the idea that people should not only be allowed to believe, but they should be able to live those beliefs openly and proudly in their communities. And this is what Chabad has to offer. It gives people purpose, belonging, and connection. Chabad is here to serve the entire community, as Ilana mentioned, Jews and non-Jews alike, every citizen of Palmetto Bay. It is a place open to all, where every single person matters. Who we are as Americans is defined by our convictions, our beliefs, and our values. There can be nothing more important than our values. They shape our families, our community, and the future that we are building. America is the one place in the world where religion is celebrated, not just tolerated. It's a place where we are encouraged to live with faith, identity, and meaning, where we can be free to be who we were born to become. Street names are not just directions. They're statements of what a community stands for and what it chooses to honor. And naming the street Chabad Way reflects that freedom, that pride, and that purpose. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
My name is Dr. Pakovich, 9280 Southwest 167th Terrace, Palmetto Bay. I asked the mayor, thank you for this, to honor the Shabbat, the things that they do for our community, especially during the winter time. And, it honors the religion that our foundation in this country, and I appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to you guys passing this. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Gary Pastorella, 6940 Southwest 142nd Terrace. One of the speakers brought up something that we seem to be running away from, and I think that's wrong. What we don't want to be running away from is diversity and inclusion. And we shouldn't be going in a direction that both on a national and a state level. And this takes us back to where we should be. We should include all peoples, regardless of race or color, or ethnicity, or where they come from. We should not be painting over walks with, we have rainbow colors to include all the people. If we can't have crosswalks with rainbow colors, we should have sidewalks with rainbow colors. And this family have continued to bring support. You see them at all the events in support of the Palmetto Bay. They give, and they give. And I want to thank them for that, and I think we should go ahead with this.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing as though there's no one else, Madam Clerk, do we have any comments by form for or against this item?
No comments by form were submitted.
Okay, do we have any questions for the sponsor from my colleagues? Any comments? Madam Mayor, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You may keep that gavel for the rest of the evening if you'd like. I could use a break. Well, first of all, thank you to those that spoke this evening. I think names are very important. I used to say that when when I was teaching first grade. Yes, my colleagues know that I mess names up sometimes, but it's important. Every name kind of tells a story, and the story of the Chabad, for me, it's really been a journey of light. It's been a journey of a story of kindness, caring. The Chabad and the Gansberg family, you've really brought, I think, inclusion here in the village. I was thinking, as the last speaker was speaking, let's see what we did this evening. We gave a proclamation to the Muslim community celebrating Eid. That was a couple weeks ago. Thank you, Councilmember Fiore. We passed an item, I think it was on consent, we placed it on the consent agenda for the Episcopal Church to use the Lada for, I think it's Episcopal, to use the Lada for an event that they're having post a car show celebration. And tonight, hopefully, it sounds like naming a street in our community after the place, the spirit of what our village really is. I mean, we have got to be one of the kindest, we don't always agree on everything, but we've got to be one of the kindest, caring, most compassionate communities, I would say in the nation, but definitely in Miami-Dade County. So I hope the street serves as a reminder once the name goes up, as people pass, for the values that our community holds dear. I'm not speaking specifically to religion, just speaking to the values that the Chabad brings to the community. So I thank you for those that came out to speak, and it sounds like I'm going to have the support of my colleagues.
I make a comment, please?
Go ahead.
Make a comment, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, I just want to reinforce the idea that the Chabad does help everybody, whether Jew or non-Jew. Recently, a friend of mine, not Jewish, asked me where she could contribute money to the people in Israel who are suffering. And Rabbi Khani reached back and gave guidance, which I told her. So I want to thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments? Mr. Cody?
Thank you. I don't know if you remember, Rabbi, but during the election, you came to the library to vote, and when you got out, I exchanged pleasantries and hello with you and Mrs. Gansberg, and as they walked away, I told some of the other people who were there, I said, "That's my rabbi." And they looked at me and they said, "You don't like you have a rabbi." And I said, "If you're lucky, everybody has a rabbi." And I feel very lucky that you, sir, are my rabbi. And I want to echo something that our mayor said. I've always believed that the name is the first gift that you're given by your parents. You may decide later it doesn't fit. You may decide that you're going to get married and take on the name of your spouse. But names are important. And I think that in this case, because of what you and what the Chabad represents has given to Palmetto Bay, that it's only fitting that we acknowledge that by naming the street that the Chabad is located on as Chabad Way. So I'm very, very happy and proud to not only be voting for this, but to have brought my name forward to co-sponsor it. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Vice Mayor?
Thank you. So I remember, over 10 years ago now, actually a bit longer than that. I mean, growing up, going to my grandmother's house as a teenager. For those who don't know, my grandmother actually lived just down the street from the rabbi. You could probably throw a rock from his front door and it'll land in my grandmother's yard. And he used to walk over once in a while and give my grandmother some challah. And it was really the highlight of her day when that happened. And just the way you treated my grandmother, especially in her last days when she was in the village of Palmetto Bay, I'm really grateful for that. And just it really speaks to your character, how long you've been in the community, how much good you've done for our community. That every single person I talk to, it's just like they love your Chabad in Palmetto Bay. I'm so glad that you chose Palmetto Bay as your home. And this is just really, I think, just signing that deal once again and really making it so. hopefully you'll be remembered for all the amazing contributions you gave to the community. So thank you so much for all the work that you do and also the kindness that you've shown people over the years. Seriously, thank you.
Any other comments? I will just close by kind of echoing what the mayor just stated. We actually had a celebration of our Muslim brothers and sisters earlier this evening, and tonight we celebrate our Jewish brothers and sisters. And as Mr. Pastorella said, we are the most diverse nation in the world, despite what others may say or think. And I can speak from my own family and the opportunities it was given, that I've been given with my family now, and when my grandparents arrived here 126 years ago. So saying that, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Marsha Matson. Mayor Karen Cunningham.
Yes.
Councilmember Patrick Fiore.
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Congratulations to Shabbat. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, can we get a picture with the Chabad and the rabbi?
Sure, we'll take a, no recess. Just
About 5-minute recess.
No, I don't want, can we just take the picture and come back? All right, we are moving on. Item 14A, would somebody move that? Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
Item 14A is a resolution related to procurement approving the selection of Waypoint Contracting for the development of Veterans Park Phase 1 pursuant to an ITB, authorizing the manager to negotiate and enter into a contract issuing a purchase order in the amount of $3,800,271.20. This resolution is sponsored by administration, and it was prepared by procurement specialist Alessia Bencomo.
Thank you. Public comment? Comment by form? No?
There's one by form. Eric Tolberg, 7884 Southwest 179 Terrace. Although I am a veteran, the price tag for the Veterans Park has expanded way beyond what really needs to be done. With a total cost of over $4 million, we should look for ways to save. The park donor built a long sidewalk and parking area that we could have used. That's the end of the comment.
Thank you. All right, I will turn it over to our superstars.
Good evening, Mayor and Village Council. Alessia Bencomo, Procurement Specialist. This ITB was advertised on February 17th. We did receive 4 proposals on March 19th, and Waypoint Contracting was the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. And if approved, this contract duration will be for 10 months from the NTP date.
Thank you. Questions? No? Comments? Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Very excited for this, and also kudos to the administration as well for going to Washington for more funding, because I really hope phase 1 and 2 will hopefully be built very soon. So thank you.
Great. Anyone else? Thank you, Alessia. Mr. Manager, congratulations. Appreciate all the hard work, and we'll look forward to a groundbreaking very soon. Thank you. We probably should wait for Councilmember Fiore to come back. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. That item passes. We are now moving on to item 14C.
Move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
Item 14C is a resolution establishing the Palmetto Bay Connection Community Skill Sharing Volunteer Programming, designating the Coral Reef Park Recreation Building as a venue, reaffirming the village's commitment to lifelong learning and its age-friendly initiative, providing a pilot program, implementation, and reporting. This resolution is sponsored by Councilmember Marsha Matten.
Thank you. Public comment?
Gary Pastorella, 6940 Southwest 142nd Terrace. I don't have a problem with this. The problem I have is with the sponsor, because this particular sponsor brings items forward, but yet doesn't vote for any of our budgets, votes against all of our budgets. And if there's any items that require additional monies, this particular sponsor should vote in favor of our budgets rather than against each and every budget that has come before that particular sponsor.
Thank you. Other speakers? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close public hearing. Do we have a staff report, or is that going to be you, Councilwoman?
I'll be talking about it.
All right, it's all yours.
All right, this is an idea I got at the ribbon cutting of our rec building, our beautiful new rec building in Coral Reef Park. And I thought that it would be a really nice idea if residents could share their skills. And I wanted to think of a program that didn't cost any money or hardly any money, so there would be no or very little tiny impact on budget, and also one that did not burden the staff as well. So I came up with the idea of Palmetto Bay Connection Community Skill Sharing Volunteer Program, in which residents volunteer to share their skills. And I think mainly they would have to work with the staff to set times, but other than that, they could come in and do a variety of workshops or educational things. For example, I did a memo which did not appear, I don't think it appeared in the agenda, but I had a good time coming up with ideas. For example, native plant gardening and pollinator habitats, painting, mosaic and public art workshops, photography, writing groups, book discussions, how your village government works, emergency preparedness, resilience education, for family and youth enrichment, SAT, ACT preparation and tutoring, STEM workshops, parenting seminars, for example, screen time and teen mental health, life skills for teens like resume writing and interviewing and budgeting, senior engagement, technology basics for seniors, for example, phone, email, telehealth, health and wellness, like mobility, nutrition, memory, fitness, memoir writing and storytelling workshops, intergenerational mentoring, conversational Spanish and English exchange, cultural cooking classes and heritage presentations, music and dance workshop reflecting community traditions, meditation and stress management, practical life skills like financial planning, home maintenance, hurricane preparedness. Those are just some of the ideas that I thought of that our residents who are extremely bright and very talented could come up with and volunteer their time to other residents with minimal cost and minimal burden on the staff. So I recommended it at our new rec building, but that wouldn't have to be the only place. But I think it would be a nice place to have it so that residents can enjoy the beauty of that building and how much work went into it, how much community spirit went into it. So I hope I will have your support for it. Thank you.
My apologies for stepping away. Got to give a shout out to Troop 840. Did not know because you were not in uniform, but I hope you're learning lots tonight. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate. All right, questions for Councilwoman Matson. Councilmember Cody.
When you say that this is going to be done without cost, is there anything to prohibit somebody putting on one of these informational skills sessions from charging attendees a fee?
I think that would be up to administration.
So we're going to leave it in the hands of the manager to decide if everybody cannot charge a fee or if only certain classes can charge fees and others cannot.
My feeling was that these would not be charged, but I would leave that up to the discretion of the manager and the parks director. But I would think that as volunteers, they would offer their services for free, but that, I didn't write that in. My feeling was that they would be for free, but I would not want to restrict the discretion of the manager and the parks director.
I'm going to, Director Carmona, can you come up for a second? I know you and I had a conversation, it was prior to agenda items, just about like what the plan is for largely senior activities you and I spoke about. I know currently they're at Prime Community House, and then you talked about how you're going to vary some of the activities, which I already see the selections because I'm kind of following it right now, seeing what kind of programming we're adding. So some of the programming now we've got going on is for active adults over at Coral Reef as well. I think some of them are for pay, correct? I mean, so yes. I don't want to eliminate that in any way because that's how you're getting high quality programming, I think. And frankly, if I go to programming, I pay for things. I go to Pilates 3 or 4 times a week. I know it didn't look like it as you saw me just trying to get down the steps, but I have very bad arthritis in both my knees, and so the movement helps me, but I pay for that because it's an activity that I want to do. I guess my overall question, not to put you on the spot, but was the programming that we're talking about here for Palmetto Bay Connection, was it a conversation you worked on with the councilwoman?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. No, the council member and I have not had a discussion about this. I did read her item earlier today.
Is there anything in the item that, again, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think it's important that we're working with people so that we're understanding when we're bringing items, what the pros and cons are from your perspective or from a staff member's perspective or the manager's perspective. So do you see anything in the item that we're currently doing that we, because I think some of this we're already doing.
Yes, so most of the activities that we're offering at the new recreation center do have a fee to them, but we are currently offering a knitting class that's just led by a resident volunteer that came to us and wanted us to include them, and we did. They've already met twice.
And then there's also another group that's going to start a Mahjong class for free, volunteer the same way. We actually used to offer that at Perrine Community House a couple of years back. And we have another group that wants to do storytelling, also for free, just a volunteer that wants to offer it. So I think we just have to do a balance of free and paid activities and give the residents the option to choose which activities they want to participate in.
Other questions for anybody? Okay, thank you.
I'd like to add one more point.
Okay, go ahead.
I forgot to mention that this would be a pilot program for only 6 months to see how it works out. That this wouldn't be a permanent program on this vote, just to see how it works out, if we could get enough volunteers in with the diversity of classes.
Thanks, Fanny. Vice Mayor?
So this sounds like, to me, we're essentially just formalizing what's already happening at the Recreation Center. Am I reading that or hearing that correctly?
That's the direction that we're provided this evening. We will follow the direction.
Thank you, that's all.
The only difference that I see, and I can't speak for the maker of the item, but from what I just heard from Director Carmona, is this says in your memo, the program is designed to be volunteer-driven, utilizing existing facilities and staff for minimum scheduling, communication support. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's got to go through the village. It's got to go through the staff for them to be able to do the scheduling. But did I understand correctly when you said that you want the activities to be for free? Did I hear that prior?
Well, I would prefer that. I mean, that's the idea, is that it would be residents helping other residents, offering their skills, knowledge for free. That's what my hope would be. I mean, I think I already answered that when I was responding to the councilman, and that is, I would not want to block or tell the manager what to do. This is a 6-month pilot program to see how it works out, if volunteers can come forward and offer their skills. The minimal involvement on the part of the staff would be just the scheduling. That's, so.
So, and this would be, again, from my, I love the item.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
I love it. I'm not going to support it tonight because I think it's important that we work with the staff so that Director Carmona's I just looked at her and she said, no, that's not accurate. So, I think putting something together where there's been some communication is important.
I just wanted to add that there's more involved in this than just scheduling. I mean, we do have to work around the other programming already happening there. There is a setup, a breakdown, and a cleanup after. Not just of the facility, the room itself, but the people using the room, using the restrooms, and other parts of the facility. So there is just a little bit more than just a scheduling part. That happens now with all of our programs, but it's a part of it.
Thank you. All right, yes, Vice Mayor?
To our attorney, my understanding is if we want to set fees for programs, it would have to go through an ordinance. Am I correct there?
For parks fees, you would need an ordinance, and you would also need data to support the fees.
We would not be able to essentially...
No, I take it back. This is just parks fees, user fees, not impact fees. So, yeah, but yes, it would need to...
So we wouldn't be able to establish any kind of fees for this program in the resolution?
No, we would need to bring back a fees item, yes.
Got it. I just wanted that on record. Thank you.
All right, anybody else? All right, then seeing no other comments, question, okay.
Yeah, just as comment, I mean, it sounded to me, I heard from the director, I mean, this sounds like, from what I heard up here is that if this passes, you'll follow the direction of the council. This doesn't seem like more than what's already being happening. We're just formalizing an existing program. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a great program. I like the idea. To the mayor's point, I think meetings with staff can happen after the passage of this just to make sure everything's aligned, and we can go from there. But I don't have any problem with the program. I think it's pretty straightforward. I like it a lot. So I hope you all support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councilmember Fiore?
Yeah, I'm well-intentioned, short on details. I think I have to see more. more detail here, but I think it's well-intentioned. Perhaps, Dr. Mattson, you may want to bring it back. If it doesn't pass, I don't know. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, let's just do it, I guess, vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Okay, so the item passed, or the item fails, 3-2. All right, next is item 14D. Would somebody move?
Move
item?
it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
Item 14D is a resolution approving and concurring with the village-wide multimodal transportation master plan developed by Marlin Engineering, authorizing the manager to transmit the approved plan to relevant agencies and take all the necessary steps to support implementation. This resolution is sponsored by administration and prepared by Public Services Director Dionisio Torres, and my office received one comment by form for
Please,
this item.
you can go ahead and read it. And if you're going to speak to this, if you'd queue up.
Eric Tolberg, 7884 Southwest 179 Terrace. The multimodal master plan needs to be implemented. That's the end of the comment.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no public comment here. Yeah, Rabbi, I was going to say, I think somebody forgot their jacket there. Good evening, Director. How are you?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. This is a continuation of the item we heard at the last COW meeting. We took your comments to the consultant. They basically revised the plan to remove any reference to bridging on 77th Avenue, and they added the references to the Tanglewood bicycle ped improvements. So we ask that for your concurrence on the item.
Questions? Vice Mayor?
For the Tanglewood side, my understanding is that we're only applying for the L-shaped folio in the north. What was inserted into this plan, is that consistent with what the council applied for with the county, or is it the whole park?
They're basically just bringing that forward as part of the 25-year plan, if you will, which is projects that have identified. Whatever is consistent with what council has approved, that's what will be incorporated in the plan.
But just for clarity, it's that northern parcel that we as a council applied for as what's in the plan?
Whatever council approved, yes.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions, Councilwoman?
Yes, I just wanted to make sure I had communicated with Director Torres earlier today regarding references to bridges along 77th Avenue. There were 2 bridges that were proposed to be completed in the 30s, the 2030s. So my question to you is, that's affirmed, that reference to both of those bridges is going to be taken out of the report, correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Other questions? No? Okay. Thank you. I appreciate, I know I sent an email a couple weeks ago, so I appreciate you all having the discussions and making the appropriate changes. And Mr. Manager, thank you for following up on that. I appreciate it. All right. Anything else on this one? All right. Let's vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Item passes. Item 14E. Would somebody move that forward?
Move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
Item 14E is a resolution adopting the National Association of City Transportation Officials NACTO Urban Street Design Guide, Urban Bikeway Design Guide, and Transit Street Design Guide as supplemental design guidance for village transportation projects. Directs the manager to implement NACTO design standards in coordination with the interlocal agreement with Miami-Dade County. This resolution is sponsored by Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
Thank you. Public comment? Comment by form? No?
One comment submitted by form by Eric Tolberg, 7884 Southwest 179 Terrace. NACTO design guidelines will ensure safer streets for vulnerable road users like myself. That's the end of the comment.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Thank you. And also, Madam Clerk, you read the whole item. It should have just been the quick title. Doesn't matter. Oh, well. So I have 2 resolutions tonight that complement the safety action plan that we approved on consent agenda this evening. And they go together, which is the next item, which is a Vision Zero plan, and also this resolution. So I thought just for efficiency, I'll just present both because they're linked up. The first resolution adopts NACTO design guides. NACTO stands for the National Association of City Transportation Officials. The best way I can describe it is with an analogy. For those of us on the dais who were educators, think of it this way. The state sets general standards for what you have to teach, and you, for example, have to cover the American Resolution, and you have to hit certain benchmarks like, hey, when did we sign the Declaration of Independence? NACTO is essentially like the McGraw-Hill. It's like the textbook that shows you how to actually cover that material well and meet those standards in a really effective way. Our engineers already work with FDOT standards, AASHTO, and the County Design Manual, and those all pretty much set the floor. NACTO does not replace any of them. All it does is give our team a better toolkit for designing streets that are safer for everyone. That includes pedestrians, cyclists, transit riders, drivers. It's supplemental guidance on how to best design things. And I also want to let everyone know we're not going out on a limb here. Miami-Dade County is already a NACTO member, and also so is the city of Miami Beach, and so are probably about a dozen other Florida municipalities. This is all mainstream. It also does not create new work for our department. The only real change is that our staff and consultants will have to access these high-quality guidelines, and that comes with the membership of NACTO, and they'll be expected to consult them when necessary, and if they can't or won't, then they just have to write down rationales to why they didn't. That's all. The second resolution, which I'll present now because it's all interlinked, is the Vision Zero policy language. And it's essentially the village is committing to no traffic deaths or serious injuries on our streets and acknowledging that these outcomes are preventable. I want to be clear that what it does and what it does not do. I wrote it so that the operative sections direct staff to do pretty much what they're already doing through the safety action plan that, again, we just approved on consent agenda. We are already targeting the high injury network. We're already pursuing quick build projects, and we're already collecting crash data and coordinating with the county. The one new deliverable here is that the administration will have to do an annual progress report to the council, and that can essentially be built from data that we're already tracking. The real value here between both of these resolutions, and this is the most important thing, is that federal and state programs, especially the Safe Streets for All implementation grants, which is what we would hopefully apply for, which, by the way, this year is the last cycle after we just signed our action plan, is pretty much looking for these sorts of things. And they score applicants based on adopted safety policies and also commitment to the safe systems approach and demonstrated intergovernmental coordination. We have a really strong action plan from street plans, and thanks to the administration from that planning grant, but we do not yet have an adopted policy that ties it all together. And these two resolutions essentially fill that gap so that our grant writers have concrete council commitments to reference to grantors. Both of these items were recommended by our Safe Streets Action Plan or from the CAL that we had last month. I sent both resolutions to the administration and to our consultant at Street Plans. I did not hear any concrete concerns from the administration, and our consultant seems to be supportive because we're literally adopting their own recommendations. If you look in the actual plan itself, they suggested that we adopt NACTO. So to reiterate, the Safety Action Plan was the roadmap that we just approved. NACTO just gives us a toolkit, and Vision Zero is a policy foundation that hopefully will help us unlock funding to help build it all. I would ask support for both resolutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Questions?
Yeah, question. Thank you, Madam
Yes.
Mayor. May I have the floor?
Yes, you may have both floors. Get on my floor, too.
Thank you very kindly. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. So my question is real simple to our city manager on both of these. Is this something you can do? Is there cost? Does it take away from staff time? Is it a lot of extra regulation? I'm really going to defer to you because, thank you.
From the administration point of view, we're very happy with both of these items. From a cost point of view, I mean, I think, well, before I get into cost, the Vice Mayor did bring up our consultant from the Safe Streets for All program, took a look and provided actually some positive comments to it. So I think they're very much, as he said, in the mainstream. And from an administration point of view, we're happy. Any cost is going to be pretty minor, just very incremental. So no issue here.
That's all I need to hear. Thank you, Mr. Manager.
Thank you. Other questions? Councilmember Cody.
Thank you. I'm curious as to why you didn't include with the resolution any kind of link or reference to NATCO so we could see what these standards are, or to the Vision Zero as to what that specifically is. Because not every one of us has interned with the Transit Alliance.
To answer your specific question, the NACTO guidebooks require membership to access, and there's a cost barrier behind that. I was not going to spend my own personal funds to acquire those books to present to council before we adopted this resolution. So there's a paywall there. I just could not get those books for the council. Again, this is something that's been adopted by probably hundreds of municipalities and counties across the United States. This is not something out of left field. It's been implemented in multiple cities out there. So the Vision Zero, what's in front of you is the entire resolution. There's no hidden policy behind the Vision Zero resolution, so there's nothing more than what's in the four corners of that document.
Right, but you're referencing Vision Zero, and Vision Zero refers to something. So how do I find what it's referring to? That wasn't included with your the backup for your resolution. It was just the bare resolution itself.
My understanding is that Vision Zero is defined within the resolution, which included the high injury network data and included the safe systems approach. There's nothing in there that's referencing an external document to my knowledge. If you could point to me where it is, I'd actually like to see, because that's not the intention.
You're the expert. You tell me where I can find on the internet Vision Zero so I can go take a look at it.
Again, it's what's in the resolution.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman?
Yes, well, I did look up Vision Zero online. So, I mean, it wasn't hard to find. Also, it's described in the reports. In fact, I'm very happy that you have come up with these two things that work perfectly with what we just passed. It's wonderful to see that we have more tools in order to implement what we just passed. Thank you.
Great. Are you looking for co-sponsors?
Yes, and I'll just add one more thing as well. I'm pretty sure you probably referenced to both of you. The US DOT actually defines Vision Zero. So it's out there. It's a federal program. It's not really a program. It's like federal guidelines as to like what cities should do and what they're looking for with grants, and that's where we're pulling money from. So, but yes, I am looking for co-sponsors.
All right, I'd like to co-sponsor. I did have a conversation with the manager on all three, the final three items, and I appreciate the fact that you're working collaboratively with the manager, having these conversations. Thank you. So if I could, I'll co-sponsor.
Does that mean the commissioner has to get the gavel now for all three?
I'd like to co-sponsor as well.
And so it begins.
Will one of you not co-sponsor?
I'll
So that you can keep the gavel.
Patrick's got it.
Right, so where were we? Oh. So, Madam Mayor, you're co-sponsoring this?
Yes.
And who else is?
Councilwoman Matson.
Councilwoman Matson. Okay, so did we call public comment on either one of these items? Because I'd like to take a vote on both of them separate, but both, so we can get it for the sake of
We
time.
have to read the second one.
Yes, okay. Yes, you're right. Thank you. Okay, any other questions for Mr. Merwitzer? Comments? Okay, call the roll, please. Comment, Mr. Cody?
Yes, thank you, Mr.
Chairman.
Mr. Fiore.
Yeah, that's my name.
I'm going to oppose this because, in the words of the gentleman sitting to my left, this is short on details. If you had included in the packet something to educate us on what standards under NATCO we're going to be adopting by way of that resolution, and what specific programs under Vision Zero that we're going to be adopting, I would consider it. But we have nothing other than, and they may be very good ideas, but I'm not from Missouri, but I like for people to show me. And so I'm not going to support it because there's nothing here to see.
Thank you, Mr. Cody. Any other comments? Okay, Madam Clerk, could you call the roll on the first one, which is 14, what is that, E? F?
E. 14E.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
No.
Councilmember Patrick Fiore,
No.
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsha Matson.
Yes.
Okay, the resolution passes 3-2. So, Madam Clerk, could you read item 14F, please?
I believe we need someone to move the item and second the item.
Do we have someone to move the item?
Second.
It's moved by, who moved it?
I moved it.
It's moved by Dr. Mattson, and it's seconded by Vice Mayor Merwitzer.
Item 14F is a resolution adopting Vision Zero as an official policy of the village, directing intergovernmental coordination with Miami-Dade County officials. This resolution is sponsored by Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
Are you co-sponsoring this?
I
too?
figured since you're getting settled in, I'll just co-sponsor
No, no,
right
I-
out of the gate, and then you can keep the
No,
cap.
really? Are you really going to co-sponsor?
May I co-sponsor it, and then he can just continue on?
Of course.
I'd
And,
like to also.
okay, thank you.
Okay, so it's going to be co-sponsored by Mayor Cunningham, and it's also going to be co-sponsored by Dr. Mattson from District 3. Go ahead. Oh, do we have any public comment? I'm sorry. Public comments, step up to the microphone, please. State your name and address for the record.
Henry Clifford, 8875 Southwest 171st Street. I really haven't read any of these things. I agree with Mr. Cody, I don't know it, but it seemed to be not a bad idea. But I'm more concerned with the future of safety of people in our community. About 2 years ago, I went to visit my sister-in-law over at E Lake, and same thing occurred about 6 months ago, and I said, traffic could not get any worse than this, and she said, you told me that 2 years ago, and you were absolutely wrong. Traffic has gotten much, much worse. When that bridge opens up in a month or two, my prediction is traffic is going to get much, much worse. You may have noticed that 1,000 people today, roughly, are moving into Miami-Dade, and they're coming up with homes down south because there's nothing up north for these people to live in. The jobs are up north, the homes are down south. They're passing through our city. The bridge is going to make it a little bit worse. Without the bridge, it would still be worse. Anything we can do to make this a safer place, I'm in favor of. If I'm not mistaken, Miami-Dade is listed as one of the most dangerous places to be a pedestrian or a bicyclist in the nation. And Miami-Dade drivers are once again rated as the worst in the nation. So I'm all in favor of anything that's going to make it safer. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Good evening, Karen Baiswala, 7380 Southwest 141st Terrace. I couldn't applaud you more. I think this is an absolutely wonderful resolution. You know my history. Just to give you guys some idea of what Vision Zero actually is in the trauma world, and for all of us pedestrians, bicyclists, anybody sharing roadways with cars. Vision Zero is a strategy that was originated in Sweden in 1997 to eliminate all traffic fatalities and severe injuries, recognizing that 100% safety is impossible, but possible through appropriate design. So I want to congratulate you if you guys do pass this. This is wonderful for the pedestrians of Palmetto Bay and all of us that are sharing the roadways. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, public comment is now closed. Do we have any comments by form, Madam Clerk? None? Okay, thank you. Any questions for the sponsor of this item? None? Comments on this item? Mr. Merwitzer?
Thank you, everyone. That's all.
Any other comments? Nope. Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Marsha Matson,
Yes.
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
Yes.
Councilmember Patrick Fiore,
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
No.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1. Madam Mayor?
All right, last one, item 14G. Let's see if we could extend the meeting 10 minutes. I'm hoping that we can get through this in 10.
I'll extend it to 10:10.
10:10?
I only need 5, but that works too.
Great, okay. Is there a second for an extension to 10:10 PM?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Would somebody move the last item, 14G?
Move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
Item 14G is a resolution establishing the Permit Palmetto Bay program and directing the manager to implement a virtual inspection and same-day service program, directing the manager to issue a public communications campaign regarding these services. This resolution is sponsored by Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer and co-sponsored by administration.
Thank you. Public comment? Comment by form?
Done by form.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Did you also want to co-sponsor the third item as well?
But I'm on a roll, so I'm just going to give it to, are you going to co-sponsor it? Are you sure? It's permits.
I just had to.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Merwitzer.
Thank you. So since taking office, one of the most consistent things I've heard from residents is about our permitting process. Homeowners have approached me time and time again about putting up a fence, replacing an AC unit, or trying to repave a driveway, and they were essentially telling me that there were some things that could be better there. So I heard those concerns loud and clear. So over the last several weeks, I sat down with the administration and asked a simple question, which was, how do we make our process better? And what's before you tonight is that answer. It's called the Permit PB program, and it gives our residents 2 streamlined pathways to get their permits done faster. I want to give a huge thank you to Dean and also the village manager for developing this program. We've had several meetings about this, and I could not be more grateful because this is an incredible program. So to get into the details, the virtual inspection program for qualifying work like AC changeouts, water heater replacements, re-roofing, and window and door replacements. Residents and contractors can opt in to have their inspection conducted remotely via video call instead of waiting for an inspector to come out to their property. This is already done across the state of Florida, and it's explicitly authorized under statute. And crucially, our building official will retain full discretion as to whether or not to do this in person or virtually as well. And the second component is the same-day service, and this is the component I'm actually most excited about, because this would designate at least 1 day per week where a resident or contractor can walk into Village Hall with their paperwork for eligible lower complexity permits and walk out that same day with a permit in hand if they have all their paperwork in order. We're talking again about fences, driveways, generators, pergolas, and really just simple and straightforward things for our residents to work on. And there's no more waiting days or weeks for something that really should be simple. And the resolution encourages staff to hopefully expand this more in the future as capacity allows. I also want to highlight the accountability into this program. We're tracking performance metrics. We're asking for the applicants to give feedback at every interaction, and the village manager will report back to the council within 90 days on implementation and annually after that. We're just going to make sure this program works and collect that feedback directly from the residents and stakeholders in this program. Once again, thank you very much to the staff. This has been an excellent program, and also thank you for working time in and time out on this. So please seriously give a round of applause / hand wave to Dean and his department for working on this. Seriously, this is a huge deal. So thank you. Excited to get this rolling. I ask for your support tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Merwitzer. Questions for Mr. Merwitzer? No questions?
Yes.
Question? Go ahead, Dr. Mattson.
How does this virtual inspection work?
It's authorized under statute. It's essentially done over a video conference app. And for example, from what I've been explained, it's essentially if you're doing like an AC unit, the inspector, it's very thorough of a process where it's been done before. And it's essentially everything that they do in person but virtually. For example, they'll ask the contractor like twist a screw around to make sure it's tight as an example. So it just goes through the whole process without having to have someone there on the ground.
Does someone have a camera? By virtual, that's what that means to me, really, is someone has a camera that watches the screw being turned or what have you, so that there's an affirmation of it, plus it's a video of it as well.
Correct.
Is that what goes on?
Yeah, it's like a video conference. Like I don't want to say Zoom, but there's platforms that the department has can professionally procure to do this properly. And also, I see Nick over there.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. And I appreciate the comments, appreciate the collaborative effort in which you have worked through it. I think it's a great idea. The building official will be much more entertaining than me in describing it, but we've looked at using, if you do pass it, we'll probably use Microsoft Teams. That way we can archive the video. You can do it right. Any contractor with an Android or an Apple phone can actually do the video, and then remotely, the inspector would be able to go through the inspection checklist, and then we could archive the video as part of it.
Thank you. Any other questions for, go ahead, Mr. Cody.
Thank you. I've got a question for our building official. When you put a new roof on a building, there are several stages that have to be inspected, correct? One of the things you have to do, for instance, is make sure that the hurricane straps are properly screwed into the wooden frames, correct?
Not actually correct.
How do you inspect a roof at the framing stage to make sure that it is properly joined to, or how would an inspector do it to make sure that it's properly joined to the structure of the house?
This is for re-roof. So you're actually not, this is not for new construction. This is actually for re-roofing, to expedite permitting for re-roofing.
So if my roof gets blown off in a hurricane and I have to have all new, like we did after Hurricane Andrew, all new wooden eaves put in, that wouldn't be covered by this because that would be considered a new roof?
That's an inspection done by a private special inspector.
So that would not be something that we would do. What about the making sure that the little tin hats are put, that the nails are driven through those to hold the shingles down?
That could be done, but realize we're not pushing the virtual inspection. We're doing this as a courtesy to our residents. It's more for the homeowner, not the roofing contractor. It's more for a homeowner that's got to get her kids to school. And she's asking the inspector, when are you going to be there? And he gives her a 2-hour window and she's got to leave. She'll be able to then at that point opt in and
she'd be able to then go on the roof.
No, this has nothing to do with the roof. These are the simple inspections.
Give me a list of the simple inspections.
We don't even have it fully compiled, but like Mark said, it would be like a water heater, an exact change out air conditioning system, driveway, fence.
Structural.
Did we talk about other? The roofs we added in at the end because the contractor's coming in and they normally know there's an extensive amount of paperwork that goes into a roof application, and we thought since the roofers are doing those, not a homeowner, we could also expedite those. And I think he may have been getting some, the vice mayor may have been getting some complaints about roofs specifically. So we're willing to add that. But not necessarily, I'll be in full control of how it's inspected. And most of my guys are on the fence about virtual. But we want to offer that to the customers because it's available. For certain inspections, it can be done.
Thank you, Mr. Cody. Any other questions? I just have a question for the manager. Can you do this? Can we do this?
We can, and to a certain extent, we think, not to a certain extent, but Dean and I both think that both the virtual inspection option and the expedited permit review for residents will be a good thing. So
Okay.
we're in favor of having both of these.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Manager. Any comments from anyone? No comments? I will just say, and I know the manager knows this because I'm on the phone with him constantly, about probably the biggest thing since in my 12 years has been trying to get permits expedited and done. Dean knows. I think everybody who knows me knows. I always try to pride myself on being the Public Works Commissioner from the time I first served, and when I served with former Vice Mayor Dubois. and others, and our mayor here. So I would say this is a very good piece of legislation, Mr. Merwitzer. No, but I mean, I'm very happy to see this, only because I was just on the phone with the manager. We talk all the time about, not that they're problems, but to get things done, to get things moving. And if I can leave this system in place for new people, and it's easier in the future, I think that's a wonderful thing. So I'm going to fully, wholeheartedly support this. If there's nothing else, please call the roll, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Patrick Fiore,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsha Matson,
Yes.
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody.
No. Item passes 4-1. Is there any new business? Comments? New business, go ahead.
So in recognition of the autism program that we had earlier today and the great work that they're doing in the community, I actually spoke to one of our constituents who has a differently abled person within their household and has, I guess, is just differently minded. I don't know if that's the term, but regardless, one of the courses of feedback that I received was that it'd be incredibly helpful to have what Pinecrest is doing with, I believe it's called like the purple envelope or purple card, where it just essentially tells law enforcement that, hey, I'm either mentally different or I have special needs or whatever it is, and it's in that envelope, and it's an excellent program. So I'd like to see if anyone on the council would like to work on that program together, either through Sunshine or through administration and with our law enforcement department, to essentially do what Pinecrest and other communities are doing with that purple envelope.
I mean, I like the idea. I would just say, can you check to see if it's permissible with Miami-Dade County Sheriff's Office? Because the difference in many different things, like communications is one of them. They have to go through the county communications, Sheriff's Office. So this might be something similar. Maybe there's already a program. So I'm happy to support something along those lines. You know, I have a special needs nephew who also is neurodivergent. In any event, let's find out if that's possible. Yeah.
Okay, I do have a council comment.
Okay.
Okay, very quickly. I think it's a shame that a well-respected member of our community, Mark Levy, has been singled out in terms of a false charge of an ethics violation. And I would just like to say that I'm going to bring a measure to the council to ask the council to support the idea that if he has to retain a lawyer because of the threat by the councilman, that the council support that the village pay for that lawyer for his defense. I'm going to bring that next time.
It's nice to have a little upbeat at the end of a meeting. I love it.
I would just say,
John?
in terms of defense, the way that would normally go, that goes for council members as well. That person will retain whoever it is, and if anybody is certainly found to have violated it, that is usually not. I would not recommend supporting paying, because that means they've acted out. This goes for anybody, not just this not this individual committee member, but that means they've acted outside the scope of their duties if they have violated it. And there is state law or state case law out there that talks about how that you are acting outside of the scope of your duties. So the way that type of thing would usually go, whether you all would entertain that for a committee member or not is up to the council. But the way that would usually go is they would retain their own attorney, and then they would seek reimbursement for the fees after the fact if and when they are proven to have been successful.
We have a lot of community events coming up. I know we've got Dig Like Kim coming up. I don't remember the date, April 26th. We have April 18th. We've got 2 events. One, you get trees in the morning, and the dogs get treats. Then in the evening, come have, a little bit later in the day, we've got Cutler Stew and a Battle of the Buns you can you can figure out that. Great hamburgers. We're going to have hamburgers. And I think that's going to be it. And then we got the recycle fair coming up as well. So lots of good things happening in and around the village. Have a lovely evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Good night, Palmetto Bay.